Here we go.
Got it.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah. And welcome to your Thursday, July the 18th, 2024. They told us it wouldn't get crazier. It still does. No matter what, every day gets crazier than the one before it. No matter what, it just does. And nothing is new under the sun, but the crazy is kind of unexpected. Well, it's expected, but the level of crazy in which it happens, everybody goes like, wow, didn't see that one. Trust me, if you thought it was enough right now, it's going to be crazier. I'm Reese on the Radio. As you all heard the big voice said from the Reese on the Radio rundown. And of course, I'll be hanging out here with you all week. Do not forget, folks, tomorrow we're going to do something a little different, just something a little more in the vein of Reese on the Radio. We are going to do the airing of grievances tomorrow, all day, all day. Everyone will be able to come in, talk about whatever it is that's ticking them off. Whatever it is that's driving them crazy. Doesn't matter if it pertains to the show, the subject matter at all. We're going to let you air it out.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
That's right. You're going to hear about
Might
it.
as well cancel that one.
Oh, we can cancel it now? Do you have a new promo? Can you share it yet?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Are we going to save it for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll send it to you later.
Okay, all right. Okay, we may save it. Okay, nonetheless. But we got plenty of that stuff to talk about later on. But we got to get into something that I mentioned yesterday. And the telephone number, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. We're taking your phone calls and listening to you at any lengths as we do here on the show. Yesterday, I had mentioned something, and I was going over it. I may have repeated myself some 9 times about this phrase. And that is the Democrat Party is flailing around in quicksand at this point. And last night was a clear example of that, especially when it comes to the media. I have so many that I had to dwindle it down to 3. One of which you've probably heard about all day. But if you didn't and you've been working all day and you're in the car now and you're like, Reese, what has the media been talking about today? That's why you come here. That's why you come here. So on your drive home, I fill you. I fill you up with all the stuff that you missed throughout your workday. While you're going out there and you're, making that bread and making sure that family is fed. So why was I saying the term quicksand? The term comes from one of my favorite movies, little popcorn film, a couple of years back, starring Keanu Reeves, Orlando Jones, Faison Love, and Jon Favreau, and the incomparable Gene Hackman. The football movie called The Replacements. Now, I know you guys are going, oh, I know that movie. I know that movie. You watch it every time it's on basic cable. It's that funny. It's that good. It's Keanu Reeves, as far as I'm concerned, my favorite Keanu Reeves role. Outside of the first John Wick. But I love this movie. I watch it every time it's on. And this scene captures exactly what I was talking about with the Democrat Party and the place that they are today. I've edited it for content reasons, but you'll get the point for those of you who know the film.
Quicksand. You think everything is going fine, but then one thing goes wrong. And then another. And another. And you try to fight back, but the harder you fight, the deeper you sink. Till you can't move. Can't breathe. Because you're in
over your head. Because you're in over your head. And that's the level of the news media and the Democrat Party today. and they know it. Van Jones, probably the most quoted person of the news, said this last night about Joe Biden.
Today is a terrible day. If you pull back and look at this thing, strength versus weakness, a bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their
Gotta turn
butts
that down.
kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party.
So there you go. A bullet couldn't stop Trump, but a virus stopped Biden. They're flailing. Joy Reid is so desperate now, she had the nerve to say this.
These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing?
Who's desperate, ladies and gentlemen? Who's desperate? Joy Reid, aside from the fact that every night I have to watch this woman in what can only be considered clown makeup. Okay? And I'm not trying to make fun of her, but come on, let's be serious. Okay? I cannot take somebody serious who's wearing purple eyeliner. Okay? But talk about making a fool of yourself. This may be beyond the pale.
That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
No. No. At all. And she knows that. And if you're watching that video and looking at the face of Jen Psaki, former press secretary for Joe Biden, she is completely awestruck by the idea of this woman saying this there. And do you remember when I played the audio of Michael Green yesterday? What did I tell you? Michael Green talking about the bandage? We don't see what, there's been no medical reports. Was he really shot? Was it glass? Did he really get hit? What's going on? Joy Reid joining the fray.
Jackson is one of the few people I will know who apparently knows what's under that bandage that Trump has been wearing at the convention. He says he replaced the dressing on Trump's ear on Sunday during the flight to Milwaukee, telling the New York Times, quote, "The bullet took off a little bit of the top of his ear in an area that just by nature bleeds like crazy. The dressing's bulked up a bit because you need a bit of absorbent. You don't want to be walking around with bloody gauze on his ear," unquote. And that's all we really know about Trump's injury, which is weird, right? Because an attempted assassination of a president or a presidential candidate is very big. It's a big historical deal in a country where these kinds of incidents have taken place far too many times. The attempted assassination of Trump has been framed by some in the media as a game changer for the race, though who knows? But it is odd that we have gotten no medical reports or details about what's happened. Why is Rodney Jackson the only doctor reporting what's behind that bandage?
And this commentary is actually gaining traction among so-called serious news folks. Why haven't they released the medical report? What? What? Did someone not die from a bullet? Were two people not critically injured from a bullet? And what are you saying, that the assassin who, in this case, was firing several rounds, kills one, injures critically two others, that Donald Trump, no, he purposely missed Donald Trump, right? The intended target. All of that is a scam. That's what we're supposed to believe. Donald Trump was actually the one who told the young man, listen, this is what we're going to do. Come on. Someone reported this accurately. today. When did MSNBC join QAnon? When did they join QAnon? When did they get this ridiculous? There's only one reason they're getting this ridiculous. It's because they're desperate. It's because they're desperate. Want to hear real desperate? Let me give you one more. This one you will find incredibly fascinating. This is the deputy campaign manager. His name is Quentin Folks, talking to MSNBC about Joe Biden getting COVID and being off the campaign trail.
Let me ask you finally, if I can go full circuit back to the president's health. I think the first time he had COVID, he was off the campaign trail or out for something close to 2 weeks, or maybe it was 2 weeks. Do you have a prognosis? Can you give us any more information about what the doctors are saying about how he's doing and how much of a disadvantage at this critical time when Donald Trump has the big stage is it for you to have him off the campaign trail?
Now, obviously, it's a big disadvantage. He's dealing with old age. He's dealing with calls by his party to step down. He just announced that if a medical emergency came up, he might consider stepping down. Ipso facto, COVID may be that thing. Kamala Harris's polling numbers aren't looking that great. They look like a mess. They're all over the place. So what do you do when someone asks you the question, hey, this could be damaged? Remember how Hurricane Sandy really affected Mitt Romney's campaign? Because Barack Obama had to be out there assessing the damage, and it gave him an opportunity to see him in charge. He goes out there and sees Chris Christie and gets the big hug. Oh, it's devastating to Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney's he can't go out there and campaign. He can't turn Hurricane Sandy into a Barack Obama problem because it's a time to heal. It's the worst setback ever for a campaign. Many people said that it actually killed Mitt Romney. Many people said that. So clearly, even if he didn't have his party to be sort of telling him to step down, this would be devastating for him to have COVID after the Republican National Convention starts, after he was shot by an assassin's bullet. But what does the deputy campaign manager say? Folks, hold on to your hats. I am not kidding.
Well, look, he's not off the campaign trail. He is continuing to do work from home. He is continuing to make calls, speak to elected officials and voters across this country, as well as do the official duties of being president of the United States. I think a lot of people have sort of lost focus. I myself have, but the COVID protocols are different. I think that they're, 24, 48 hours. He's going to continue to test and do the right thing. I think, interestingly, one of the times that the president almost got COVID was when Donald Trump was not following COVID guidelines when he was running this country into the ground during the pandemic. And almost gave the president COVID during a debate. But
What? What? What?
Quicksand. You think everything is going fine, but then one thing goes wrong. And then another. And another. And you try to fight back, but the harder you fight, the deeper you sink. Till you can't move. Can't breathe.
Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Jim is in Willington. Hello, Jim. You're on Reese on the Radio.
Oh, nice to talk to you. I keep missing you when you're on the air.
No problem. I'm glad you're here. What's up, buddy?
I got to tell you, you know what? I am so sick and tired. You know what? Let's forget about Trump for a minute. Let's just forget let's forget about both of them, Trump and Biden.
Sure.
The media today is they're so nauseating.
You didn't like that montage, Jim? Jim, you didn't like that montage? I thought it was perfect.
I did. It was good. I got the bucket out of the back of my car. I almost spilled it. That's another issue. You get numb to it. But let's talk about Joy Reid. She's the one that didn't have any answers about her homophobic
sure enough didn't.
notation in her emails. Never had anything. Boy, she survived.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the first thing. Then she's caught. I don't know if it was a tape.
That's right. She was caught live. She was caught live
about all that, and then she's caught saying basically saying I don't believe I have, or worse to this effect. I've got to come out and say all this stuff now, or all this BS now, whatever.
Right.
So it's like, here's the script. Let's throw some more hate out.
That's right.
You can just stick with Joy Reid. You can go to MSNBC, to all of them, and then of course CNN's trying to get back about 16 viewers that watch that anymore. They might get up to 150 by the end of the day. But at the end of the day, Trump and Biden, let's just forget about them.
Yeah.
Americans are fed up. I just think they're absolutely fed up. There's nowhere they can go on when they watch television or they watch cable or they're looking for news that they can go to get anything that's truthful. They can't get it.
It's
and
true.
Not just about Trump. It's not just about Trump. It's about any number of things.
Yeah.
It's about COVID. It's about 9/11. You can go all the way back and go forward, back and forward with this stuff. And I just think this country's fed up.
It's so manufactured, Jim. That's the part that you and I think we're on the same page here, is like it's no longer the reporting of news. It is the manufacturing of news that I find alarming by these networks, because it's one thing when people are sort of in the zeitgeist of whatever the news story is today. I watch CNN all the time, and I'll see them invent a news story that out of whole cloth and think that that's the story.
Yeah. Well, the way that goes is they say it, and then somebody reports it.
Yeah.
And therefore, that's factual.
Indeed.
So that's the old game. But let me end with this.
Gotta roll.
Okay, we got to roll real quick, but make it 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. Now Donald Trump's been proven to be a human being. He's been proven to have compassion. What are they going to do now? Say he's from Mars?
There's only one thing left, Jim. Jim, the only thing left for them to do is to lose. That's all they have to do now. Just sit back and lose. Thanks for the call. We got to take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and of course your phone calls when we return. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Taxes.
Oh, where you are, clear.
Thanks, sir.
Than you're supposed to, especially getting close to retirement or in retirement.
Okay, you want me to?
Or
Can I?
text the word taxes.
Damn it! How am I going to hear it?
request
I got to
your
hear it on my
copy or
phone.
tax
I don't want to put it out there yet.
705.
No, don't play it yet. Just
No. I'm going to play it on my
taxes,
phone. I'm going to listen on my phone.
705-1232. Don't pay an extra nickel in taxes.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
This summer, take a trip down memory lane with me and hear from the legends of baseball. I'm Brett Boone from the Brett Boone Podcast. Every week I have a conversation with one of baseball's greats to talk about the glory days and reflect on today's game. Randy Johnson, Pete Rose, Deion Sanders, Jay Buhner, Albert Bell, and Goose Gossage, they've all shared their wisdom with stories of their playing days. To hear who's next, follow and listen to the Brett Boone Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ad paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following.
I got to play this with my wife. She's going to love this.
Commitment is not easy. Time, but we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free, the consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus.
Michael A. Hey, Ken. And John Beckman. I'll tell you, I almost said it today, but I was.
Experience the
I don't know why I'm laughing about this, but I was like, out of desperation, the Biden campaign was going to scream he had full-blown AIDS. And then Joy Reid would say, that's the same thing as a gunshot.
3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. The bodies of two men who went missing on Candlewood Lake earlier this week have been found. The 26 and 38-year-old never resurfaced after they went into the water Monday night. Bodies being taken to the office of the chief medical examiner in Farmington for testing. Police in New Haven investigating a Wednesday night double stabbing just before 9. Officers were dispatched to the scene at Del Rio Drive. A large group had gathered and there was blood at the scene, but police weren't immediately able to locate a victim. They were later alerted by staff at Yale New Haven that two men aged 18 and 39 had been admitted for stab wounds, injuries said to be non-life-threatening. Fire broke out this morning at a salvage yard in Seymour. Call came in around 7 on Silver Mine Road. No injuries were reported, but a half dozen cars and a tent were damaged. Investigators think sparks from work that was being done nearby ignited a gasoline tank. Former President Trump set to accept the GOP nomination for a second term tonight as the curtain comes down on the GOP convention in Milwaukee. WTIC News Talk 1080 will carry tonight's proceedings beginning at 9 Eastern. Meantime, President Biden is off the campaign trail back home in Delaware following his positive COVID-19 test results on Wednesday. And a briefing before lawmakers this morning confirms the U.S. Secret Service was aware of a suspicious person with a rangefinder on the ground and discussed the issue over the radio before former President Trump was shot at and wounded, along with two others on that stage Saturday night. One other person was killed. WTIC News Time, 3:32. Bob Larson's got the forecast.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine the rest of this afternoon. Very warm, but less humid than recent days. High 86 to 90. Turning out clear tonight and more comfortable. Cooling down to low is 64. Mostly sunny tomorrow. Nice low humidity. High 86. Mostly clear and comfortable tomorrow night. Low 60. Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. And very warm, but not too humid. High 86 to 90. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network, there is congestion westbound 84 between exits 56 and 48. That the result of a three-vehicle crash that has two right lanes closed. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Isn't it time you thought about an estate plan for your family? Estate planning attorneys help prioritize and carry out personalized asset protection strategies. The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott has served the legal needs of individuals and their small businesses since 1977. Our experienced estate planning team is ready to help. With Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Simon Lebo approved this ad.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear...
Dre, you can always come here, baby boy.
So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand.
I did not see that picture, John Beckman.
The right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his
Or that video, I should say.
Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Yeah, Dre, you can always come and hang out here, baby. That's where we are.
When addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want
Just
the
come
right
on and hang
treatment
out.
for your specific medical situation. Because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the
So what are we gonna do, Roland? Are we gonna
and can even combine therapy.
Are we gonna play that tomorrow? Or do you need to get it approved first?
At Northeast Men's
Nah, we'll play tomorrow.
All right, no doubt.
in the area, our medical
I like
providers
that,
specialize
though.
in men's sexual health and understand that no
Yeah, as soon as I heard it yesterday, that's the first thing I thought of was the don don don. I was like, but I gotta find a dope one, so I
Yeah.
took the one from the Cleveland show back in the day.
Ah, okay.
Like most men, you'll get your sex.
Fizzle gig in the house. Yes, we're on a break, man.
$99. It includes blood work, a medical consult.
Twitch
and a
can
medically
hardly
advised
hear you.
test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call
Oh, you know what?
930
That might be that reason.
5956. That's 800-930-5956.
I'll
Or go to
actually boost it here.
northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
This is a public notice from the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. The Commissioner has made a tentative determination that no permit is necessary and that a certificate of completion will be issued to Safety Clean Systems, Inc. for its former facility located at 11 Tipping Drive in Branford, Connecticut. This determination is based on the results of site-wide environmental investigations and remediation completed to the satisfaction of the Commissioner. Relevant documents are available for review on the Connecticut DEEP's webpage, listing public notices of proposed permit decisions. A public meeting starting at 6 p.m. will be held virtually on August 21st, 2024. The Commissioner will also consider all written comments received by September 3rd, 2024.
I think
Details
that'll
for
work.
the public meeting and how
Try to
to
make
submit
sure that
written
I'm not
comments
too
can be
loud for
found
you
on
guys,
the
that's
public
all.
notice page of the Deep website.
Oh, you gotta turn your audio down though.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
It
do.
was blasted.
Was it? Oh, yeah, you mean my clip audio. Yeah.
Yeah.
These gorgeous
Am I still sounding good, though?
Nah, you fine.
I'm
fine.
good? Okay.
It's just as soon as you played the clip, it was like, blah.
Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a
That's all I'm
once-in-a-lifetime
concerned with.
opportunity, and you can own a piece of the whore. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand.
To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077.
Call now, and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order.
Call 1-800-973-3077 now
To secure your 1904p $20 gold Liberty coins before they sell out.
That's 1-800-973-3077.
1 minute.
My
Thank you,
friends
sir.
swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a
I'm gonna just upload that drop in the system in your file. You have a file in here, so
Okay. Yeah, put that in there. By the way, I just played it for my wife. She's like, I like both of them.
yeah. The dry one is the one I use because I put music over it and make
Right.
it sound good.
Yeah.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's a
And 10.
and that
Got it.
means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I used to love this beat. I don't know one lyric from the song, though. I just know the hook. Ooh, chi wally wally. Ooh, chi bang bang. Ooh, chi wally wally. This was whoever produces. I don't even know who produced this record. This track is all. I always thought this was kind of a cute little banger back in the days. This is my Hot 97 days. Anyway, it's Reese on the Radio. We are back. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Your telephone number to call is 860-522-WTIC. 860-522-9842. There's so much stuff that I'm going to get into later, but you have to stick around for it because it is some wild stuff over at none other than BET. And I got to give him a round of applause. BET in the house. Apparently, black entertainment television is still a thing. I had no idea. I'm just learning about this. I have not had basic cable in quite some time. And not only did I find out that there is still a black entertainment television, hold on, folks. Apparently, someone dragged Ed Gordon's old bones out of the archives and put him back on that network. Now, I know Ed Gordon personally. When Ed Gordon used to have a late night BET show back in the days, I was a guest on that. I was a part of the panel, you know, like The View or The Five and all that stuff. Like Ed Gordon had a show like that over on BET, and I was a panelist. You could probably find it back in the day. And in fact, I'll even give you the timeline. It was after Allen Iverson had been busted for raiding someone's home with a gun looking for his then fiance or wife or something like that. Was it his fiance, Roland, or his girlfriend? Somebody will tell me in the chat room. But you guys remember that. It was a very, very big story when it happened. And the Philadelphia 76ers were, really, really concerned about it because here's this guy reportedly chasing his estranged wife around town and going to people's houses with a loaded weapon looking for her. And Allen Iverson was already getting a whole bunch of guff because, he was bringing the hip hop, kind of rough, gutter sort of, appeal to the game. The cornrows, and the chain and the hip hop look, which they were loving. But until he was running around, with a pistol looking for his wife, that was a problem. But it was right around then, and I was doing Ed Gordon's show, and we were having a roundtable discussion about that. And I remember my quote exactly is that the Philadelphia 76ers need to suspend him for a considerable amount of time. When you are representing that team, they are the ones that pay you the money. They are the ones who pay you your salary, and you're running around with a loaded pistol. You are a representative of that team. It doesn't matter whether or not you're a basketball player, a baseball player, or a highlight player. You represent that team, and if they're paying you gobs of money, you have to be representative of that team. And in your private life, you have to, show some professionalism on and off the court. To Ed Gordon's response was, well, I don't know about the highlight thing. And I'm like, oh, so you're suggesting that highlight players are not supposed to behave well? I was like, hey, he chased his wife around with a gun. Well, he's a highlight player. Well, no harm, no foul. To the phones we go, 860-522-WTIC. Matt is in Bristol. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Reese.
How are you, sir?
Good. Hey, that movie clip you were playing before, was that from The Replacement?
Yes, it was, my friend. Yes, it was. You can't tell me. Do you watch that? Do you watch that movie often enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times over the years.
I love that movie primarily because Gene Hackman is in what can only be considered a movie he lost a bet to be in or something. It's like, what's Gene Hackman doing in that movie? I mean, it's Gene Hackman. What were you going to say?
Oh, so I called about...
Yes.
Oh, the Dems conspiracy theory about Trump's ear.
Yes.
So if they're going to do conspiracy theories about it, I'm going to put one of my own. Maybe Biden doesn't have COVID, and they're either trying to hide him away for 2 weeks, or they're doing some experimental drug for Parkinson's or dementia.
That's right.
We're just going to throw out conspiracy theories.
Quite possible.
Making our own up.
I understand. To be honest with you, I don't think he has COVID at all. I think because Joe Biden is 81, he actually has rickets. That's what I believe. I think he's got rickets with a small case of scurvy. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal is. If this is going, I'm already listening. There's the tea leaves are already being read. I'm getting phone calls from all across Washington, right? Because I got a lot of people in connections. I normally ever talk about them because I don't like people sort of like, I don't want to give the impression it's like I'm in the know. I don't. I have a lot of people in Washington that I talk to. Word has it, and that was the reason why I said it a week ago. And people who will listen to my podcast know I said it a week ago. Joe Biden isn't going to last the week. And everybody said, come on. Go read Drudge Report today. Go look at the top fold of Drudge Report. They think he's going to be out by the weekend. I think it will be Sunday. If they're smart. Don't put it late Sunday. Early Sunday morning. Announce you're going to let all the Sunday programs go nuts and everybody tries to fill in on Monday. Because after the convention, right? After tonight, and the convention's over, the Republican National Convention's over, then you just have nothing more of weeks of Democrats pulling their hair out. Oh, and it would be the best television to watch. What is your prediction?
Going in?
Okay, who do I think fills in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, without a doubt, if you want to stop the bleeding on the Democrat Party as far as votes are concerned, Kamala Harris is the nominee, bar none. There is no, listen to me, you cannot, she's got $240 million at her disposal. They can't give it to anybody else. She has the money, and they're going to put it in there. Not only that, they've got to deal with the DEI factor of Kamala Harris. She must stay. She can't go anywhere, and she's going to have to pick a running mate. Who's her running mate? The odds on betting says that it's going to be Gretchen Whitmer, because Gretchen Whitmer, even if they lose, can survive it, and Gretchen Whitmer looks somewhere further down the line where we can actually have her as a candidate. Kamala Harris actually gets her political career destroyed. Democrats don't want anything to do with her. She doesn't help with fundraising. She doesn't help with polling data. She is absolutely abysmal as a politician. You put her up, you pretty much appease the quote-unquote African-American female vote. She loses miserably. They can use the anger of the female black vote to sort of jettison whoever else they put in 2028. Right? And you kill Kamala Harris's career to the point where she has to be primaried to be dog catcher. She is not a viable candidate. They know it. Everybody does.
Do you think she is smart enough to know that and not want the nomination? And
oh, no. She wants it. Remember, for her, it's respectability. She wants respect. I think that the Democrats would set her up. Because I think, again, if Kamala Harris becomes the face of the party's doomed. Right? It is doomed. No one likes her. And the only constituents they have, and even that's marginal, is the black female vote. Everyone else has openly said they don't like her. Even her party doesn't like her. She's polling less than Dick Cheney. You can't poll lower than Darth Vader and think that you have a viable candidate, a career ahead of you. They're going to use her, allow her to completely implode in this election. They'll see she'll probably get the lowest number of votes in history. They will use that and scream and holler about racism and bigotry, and then they'll get rid of her and move on to the next person. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Well, I hope you're right about some of it.
Yeah, no, trust me. Watch. Trust me. Like I said, I'm inside track on this. She has to be the candidate, no matter what. There's the only way they can salvage the party. They must. The DEI is their sacrament, with the exception of abortion. DEI, that's all they got. So I appreciate you, Matt.
I know they couldn't pass her over for sure if she wanted it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure that she wants it, because she must know it's the end.
Loses.
Take a quick break before Patty.
All right, we'll go to Patty in a little bit, but Matt, thank you for the call. We got to take a break real quick. Trust me, mark my words, folks. Mark my words. Kamala Harris will be the nominee. We'll find out probably by the end of the week. I'm going to go with late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, make everybody jump in the morning and change their entire programming. You'll see. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I believe I heard Eric Semmel on the radio and then heard that he was from TAP Computer Systems, and I gave him a call.
That's Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services. He had problems with his computer network.
Our business runs 5 different servers for our different profit centers, and our network was complex to the point where we had different businesses going on in our server room. TAP understood them all and was able to take care of us.
How well has TAP taken care of Swiss Cleaners' computer network?
They have a great service department. Anytime I call, anytime I email, anytime I communicate, they immediately respond appropriately. We've been using them for 14 years, and in our business, we cannot operate without our network being up, and I'm proud to say that thanks to TAB Computer Systems, we've never been down.
Trust TAB's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. TAB Computer Systems.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants and stuff.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, but here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loan?
1 minute.
Card debt
Okay.
at all-time highs? Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. Wait.
Thank you.
For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174. 800-522-2174.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
We may have to retire that soon.
I love it.
I know you do. I know you do. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I forget who the caller is. He said,
the way it's going, we're going to have to retire.
We may have to, right? Anyway, when we get back at the next top of the hour, folks, this BET, the reason why I was bringing up Ed Gorton, his sloppy behind, is this interview that Joe Biden did with BET. It's just two clips from it that you have to hear. They are absolutely amazing. Amazing to hear. So after 3:07, after 3:08, we will play the audio clips. But I've got a monologue that I have got to share with you. And I'm going to need your help, WTIC. I need your help. And please, please, please consider sticking around in the next hour after 4:08, after we do the BPS Traffic Center traffic report, with Mark Christopher. Please listen, be back for the monologue so you can hear exactly how you can help Reese on the Radio. With that, let's go to the telephones. Patty is in Naugatuck. Hello, Patty. Thank you for waiting, my dear.
Hi. I didn't know you were on the radio, and I happened to turn it on, and there you were.
Thank you, Patty. I love it when you call. How are you today?
Yeah. Well, I'm good. And, I heard one of your callers, and, I might need a few minutes to do this, but I want to, if I may, I have a husband since 2006. I can tell you the exact day. In 2016, I'm sorry, February 16th of 2006, I knew he had Parkinson's disease.
Oh, wow.
So he's had it a long time. And I also had my father's sister's husband, who was my uncle. He also had Parkinson's disease, and he had it from about 85 to 2000. So I actually have been around the disease, and I wanted to give you some information. I have I actually was a registered nurse.
Yes, I do.
And I actually worked in the units. I worked in a surgical, neurosurgical, and a trauma unit. And
if I may, Patty, so we can get just so I can get to the long and short of it. I don't mean to cut you off, but my question is do you have? I've heard this before from other people. Is there something that you can describe to me and the rest of the audience? What's the tell in Biden that you think is the Parkinson's part?
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I see.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, my husband has a neurologist, a neurosurgeon at Yale New Haven Hospital. So I can tell you what we all see. And actually, my husband was just there a short time ago, an outstanding neurologist, and he actually has told him for the amount of years that you have actually, and where the disease actually is, you are doing extremely well. I will also say this to you, and I don't like saying it, but I'm going to say it. My husband had a deep brain stimulator put in 12/16 of 2014.
Oh, wow.
And, it was an 8-hour surgery. And the neurologist, the neurosurgeon later on, phenomenal neurosurgeon, great personality. He's now in Tennessee, phenomenal man. He told him, a lot of my patients commit suicide.
Wow.
You are extremely well taken care of. And I'm going to describe the disease to you a little bit, too. To be honest with you, I see in President Biden, in 2020, we all saw things. He was kept in the basement. We saw some cognitive, that's described as cognitive, language issues, memory issues. I won't go into all that because I won't waste time there, but we saw that he had a disease there that did resemble some type of a dementia. Now, whether he has Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, other types of that, he needs to have an MRI for that or a PET scan.
Okay.
But I can tell you this, his medical history, okay, not mine, his medical history. We always ask what those are. He has past medical history of two aneurysms.
That's correct.
One in 1988. He has, I've been told, we all hear it in the news, he has atrial fibrillation. He has CPAP.
That's correct.
All vascular disease. He also has a history of 6, it's in the news, it's not in mine, 6 COVID shots. Now, COVID shots, I will say this, he actually has 6 COVID shots, and they actually tell you that they actually promote prion diseases, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, and mad cow.
Okay, because I only got a little bit of time, but I got to bring you back to something that you said, Patty. Hold on for me real quick. I'm sorry. I just want to bring you back to something you said earlier about AFib.
Yep.
That's to me, that's important. That's very telling because AFib means that he needs help breathing. Therefore, when he's sleeping, he's not getting a lot of oxygen to the brain.
Atrial fibrillation, CPAP means that.
That's
CPAP means
the CPAP, yes.
Apnea.
So
atrial fib. My father had atrial fib, and he ended up dying from a stroke.
Oh,
so that's what that's telling you is that the heart doesn't beat normal sinus rhythm. The atrial fib is it fibrillates. So the
okay, all right. So that's separate. Okay, I'm sorry. So the CPAP.
If you're prone to having you could have little small clots that actually can go to your brain. A lot of times they put you on an anticoagulant like Eliquis or something like that.
Okay.
But this is what I'm going to say is important. So we see cognitive areas of he loses track of his sentences, his language, etc. Parkinson's, what I see for symptoms? Okay. He has shuffling of his feet.
Yep.
He has some of the facial muscles.
Uh-huh.
But I'll tell you this. He actually has some symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And there is a condition called neurodegenerative disease, has been talked about by Dr. Peter McCullough, by the way.
Yeah.
And
I did hear him talking about that. So but the CPAP thing for me is particular. Patty, I gotta go to the BPS Traffic Center. I'd love to talk to you even more about this, but you have to have more time. I have to do a full interview with Patty. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading toward Hartford right now, westbound side of 84 slowing just after 56 Governor Street into the tunnel. 84 eastbound a little tight from 44 up to 46 Sisson Avenue. Southbound 91 delays as you move down between 37 and 36 again from 34 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. Northbound side of I-91 moving while Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 eastbound a little tight as you move from Windsor into South Windsor over the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound looks good Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound delays 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you're traveling 84 eastbound in the Southbury area, you got some slow traffic between 16 and 17. Again, you'll slow by exit 18 in Waterbury on the eastbound side of 84. 84 eastbound Danbury tight New York Connecticut line up to exit 5. And again, you'll see some delays between 8 and 9 in Newtown. And if you're heading in toward New Haven, southbound Parkway delays by 60 in Hamden. 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y
So,
Rewards,
Roland.
I get points when I shop
Wanda.
for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Are you there?
I'm Jan.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
My Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel. Okay, but I said it first. It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
WTIC weather.
We'll enjoy a nice break from sweltering heat and humidity over the next couple.
Yeah, I had to push all these buttons.
Okay. No, I was going to say, so I get this instant message on Facebook. She said, Christina, she says, please do not ever retire that Kamala Harris voice you have on the radio.
I see people like it.
That is classic, and I always laugh when it comes on. Okay, so we may have to keep it on.
It's like the Palomalu hair and the James Harden beard. Once you start the monster, you can't stop it.
That's a good point, Dad. Good point. Anyway, okay. But wait, are you pulling out the other what's the names? The making sense of the news?
Reaching 89 degrees.
Huh?
you have those other clips, remember? Making sense of the news.
Upper 80s. Could be a couple of showers and thunderstorms.
What the hell? The ones that you did for the hour show. Do you remember those?
TIC Weather Center.
Oh, you mean the other drops?
Yeah, the one that says,
yeah, I got the other drops.
Okay, so the ones,
but I haven't loaded them in yet because.
Oh, you haven't loaded? Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting to get those approved from Janine.
I got. Oh, you really? Oh, okay. You need to get them approved for.
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, well, before I did.
Okay.
When you was doing the.
Right.
When you were in waiting and all that.
Yeah,
exactly. He jumped from a boat into Candlewood Lake in Danbury.
But now it depends on what she says is next week is how far you going.
Yeah, exactly.
And that'll change everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire personnel and those with the Department of Energy and
all right, I'm gonna step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Took part in this.
You got it.
No official cause of death was given. Autopsies on the two will take place at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Farmington. There's word this afternoon on the death of comedian Bob Newhart. The former accountant turned comedy legend was 94. He had a series in the 70s, also another one in the 80s, and continued doing stand-up until recently. No word on the cause of death. Again, Bob Newhart dead at the age of 94. Former President Trump will accept the Republican nomination for president tonight in Milwaukee as the convention comes to a close. CBS's Natalie Brand.
RNC co-chair Laura Trump says her father-in-law was impacted by the shooting, and she expects to see a softer version of Trump tonight.
If he does have this softer tone, do you think that's going to continue after this convention?
Well, Trump is Trump. Yes, he may have a few mean tweets here and there, but you judge by the policies and what he can do to make America great again.
The man who was killed in the shooting during that rally in Pennsylvania Saturday is being remembered.
People have started to file in here to say their last goodbyes to Corey Comparator, the former fire chief and dad who died while protecting his own family at Trump's rally on Saturday.
CBS Pittsburgh reporter Shelley Bortz. President Biden's recent positive COVID test has brought the disease back to the forefront. Cases nationwide and in Connecticut have been on an upward trajectory since last month, according to the chief epidemiologist at Hartford Healthcare, Dr. Ulysses Wu.
One of the things that is driving this as well is that, COVID, thankfully, the deaths associated with it, the morbidity and mortality has decreased. Now, that's not to say that it's still not affecting people in adverse ways.
Wu says new mutations and the fact it's been so hot and many people have opted to stay indoors with air conditioning may also be driving the uptick. West Nile virus turned up earlier than usual in Connecticut, and now it's spreading. So the state is warning residents to take precautions. Infected mosquitoes were found in 8 towns and cities, primarily in Fairfield County, plus some in New Haven and Wethersfield. Dr. Phil Armstrong with the State Agricultural Experiment Station in New Haven says for humans, the most important thing is prevention.
There's no specific antiviral treatment for West Nile virus other than supportive care. So really, you want to prevent and protect yourself against mosquito bites, and a lot of that is just simple measures, wearing a mosquito repellent when you're outside, when mosquitoes are biting.
That's most often when it's cooler between dusk and dawn. He says it's good to wear long sleeves and long pants at that time of day, or those times of day, to prevent mosquito bites. Organizers hope Bushnell Park is filled with fans at the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz during a 3-day free event this weekend. Festival brings in over 100,000 from around the region and features a number of nationally known acts. It also means over $3 million for the local economy. President Charles Christie.
And we just want people to come out and experience it for themselves. And then they'll realize how good the city of Hartford is. And we just happen to be a highlight of that. And we just want to continue.
Oh, he passed away? Damn it, I just missed that.
So we need you to come out. We need you to come out and come be a part of it and enjoy the experience.
The festival also features craft and food vendors. A complete listing of the performers is available at hartfordjazz.org. The closing bell reports sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. The Dow lost more than 500 points today, 533 to be exact. NASDAQ was down 125, S&P off 43 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
At Batteries Plus, we know off is not an option. Off is an RV that won't travel or a boat that doesn't start. It's summertime. You need to be on. on vacation, on the water, on the road. Batteries Plus has batteries for your car, boat, motor.
You got about 40 seconds.
Power
Okay.
solutions, phone repair, and key remote services you can rely on. Summer's here. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
Yard Goats Baseball is back Tuesday, July 23rd. And what a week we've got. Bouncing Pickle Socks giveaway on Tuesday. We pink up the park on Wednesday. Thursday, we celebrate
Mark,
our first responders. Friday and Saturday, it's Whalers Alumni Weekend. Meet your favorite Whalers players. And Sunday, all kids run the bases after the game. Get your tickets now before they're gone at yardgoatsbaseball.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
That whole song is off beat. I was just talking about Bob Newhart, Fizzle Gig. Thank you for that. Rest in peace, Bob Newhart. I did watch that show. Hi, my name is Lau. This is my brother Darryl, my other brother Darryl. 94 years old. In such movies like Elf, you may have seen him. A lot of the younger generation will remember him from Elf. Bob Newhart. But he was definitely a part of my childhood as a kid. Bob Newhart and Ted Knight. Boy, did I love Ted Knight. It's so funny. I was watching Ted Knight on Too Close for Comfort before I had ever seen Caddyshack. And Jim J. Bullock was, what a funny character. If anybody remembers Too Close for Comfort, it takes place in San Francisco. And Ted Knight, his character was a comic strip writer, Ted Knight. And what got me wearing the T-shirts, by the way, if you go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, you could always see me in a different T-shirt. He actually inspired that here on the Reese on the Radio Rundown. He would wear a different sweatshirt on the show of a different college. That was the theme. It was like this little, quiet little thing that was on the show. Every time you saw Ted Knight's character on Too Close for Comfort, he would be at his little easel doing the Cosmic Cow comic strips. That was the Easter egg. Yes, thank you for that word. The Easter egg on the show. He had a college. And later on in the series, you found out the reason why he would wear those college sweatshirts is because he never got to go to college, and it was a college that he could have gone to, and he missed out. It was a brilliant little Easter egg in there. And that's how I got the idea for the different T-shirts, was because of that. Like Brad Pitt always eating in Ocean's movies. Yeah. It was a great idea. Did you watch that show, Mark Christopher, in the BPS Traffic Center? Did you like Ted Knight in the Too Close for Comfort? Did you ever watch that? Or were you a sitcom guy?
I love Ted Knight.
Such a good character.
He was great. I think he's from Connecticut originally, too.
I do know that. Yes, he is New Englander. Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yep.
He was just
I loved him.
He was a crotchety old man, but I really loved his dynamic with Jim J. Bullock, because it was almost as similar as Carl Winslow with Urkel on,
right.
You know what I mean? It was very similar to that, because Jim J. Bullock was just some kid who lived in the apartment nearby, and then his sort of relationship with Ted Knight became so much of a factor on the show. That's all it was about, was the two of them and their shenanigans.
Mary, it's time for the 6 o'clock news. I'm Ted Knight.
Ted Knight, baby.
Mary Tyler Moore's show.
Yeah.
Ed Asner, Mary Tyler Moore. What a great show. Wow.
It was.
That's going back a few years now. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, southbound 91, you got some slow traffic as you move down from exit 34 down to 32A and B. Northbound 91's moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 48 Asylum. 84 eastbound got slow traffic about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 eastbound a little slow as you approach and get over the Bissell Bridge from Windsor into South Windsor. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slows 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling 84 eastbound in Waterbury, that's tight by 18. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing New York Connecticut line to 3. Again, 84 eastbound tied up from 8 in Danbury. Sluggish and stop and go right out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays in Hamden by 60. South 95 is tight 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, we are going to see intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of this afternoon. It's going to be hot out there as we head up to a high of 90 degrees. And clear skies and moonlit tonight. We'll head down to a low of 64. Tomorrow turns out mostly sunny and less humid. Certainly feeling much more comfortable out there. The high tomorrow up to 86. Mostly clear skies tomorrow night. Low down to 60. Then the heat builds back in as we head into the weekend. Saturday, it's going to be hot out there with a mix of clouds and sunshine. We'll head up to a high of 90 on Saturday. Then for Sunday, partly sunny skies and hot once again with a high of 91. Right now it's 86 in Windsor, 84 degrees in South Glastonbury, and 85 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us, absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only.
1 minute.
For details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home. All done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try. That's JABRA enhance.com/try. jabraenhance.com/try.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. I'm Reese on the Radio. Don't forget, always check out the Reese on the Radio rundown. You can check it out here on the Odyssey app. And Sundays, 1 o'clock, the Red Sox aren't playing. 6 o'clock, if they are. Or maybe 5. I think it's like 5 o'clock, if they are. Anyway, and I try to keep it fresh every time, so you can check that out, of course. And always go to reasonoradio.com so you can friend us. You can join us in the chat room as well. And I love, Fizzle Gig said Night Court. Talk about a show, Night Court. I loved Night Court. And let me explain this. I was one of the kids that was extremely excited when, John Larroquette won the Emmy, I think some 3, 4, 5 times in a row for his role on Night Court. He was that show. And every time he won an Emmy, I thought it was like totally, talk about well-deserved. I loved it. He was my favorite character. What a jerk. Best supporting actor for sure. It was. He killed it every time he was on there. And he and another one was Third Rock was also very advantageous for John Lithgow, who would always win because don't get me wrong, that's talk about comedic role. John Lithgow was over the top. I fell in love with him. The movie that actually made me love him even more was to see him as a bad guy in the film Ricochet with Denzel Washington. And don't forget Cliffhanger as well. He's really strange as a bad guy. He plays it off really, really well. Buckaroo Banzai, yeah, another good one. I want to say this. I'm just asking the audience at WTIC to give me a hand here. Okay? Just give me a hand. If you work with, know, hang out with, are chummy with our African-American brothers and sisters in the Nutmeg State, I'd like you to turn them on to Reese on the Radio. I'd like you to, if you could, just say to them, hey, it probably isn't your thing, but you should hear this black guy talk smack. I'm kidding. No. Just say, hey, take a minute and listen to this guy. Just for a minute. Whatever it is you think about him, I would like them to come here. I think we should broaden our audience here to our black listeners and black residents of there. I think we should. I think it's important that I get an opportunity to be introduced to that audience. I think I should. I'd love to talk to them about some of the things and my points of view, and I'd love to hear their feedback. I kind of think that they are an underserved community in the talk radio space. So if you could, please help me in reaching out to someone you work with, good friends with, somebody maybe you chop it up with a bit, have a beer with, do the barbecue or cookout thing. Just hip them to the jive and just say, hey, check out this guy, Reese. You don't even have to say your buddy. Furiously post on Black Twitter. Whatever you got to do. Also, could you help me out with something else just for my wife? Please let me know anyone who knows anything about 777 Main Street. Again, 777 Main Street. Just tell me what you know about it and send that information to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. 777 Main Street. You all know where it is. It's in the heart of Hartford. 777 Main Street. I'm very interested in finding out some information about that. So if you know anything and you could share something with me, give me a holler. Again, 777 Main Street as well. Before I go to the phones, hear me out. Joe Biden was on BET to talk about African Americans and why he's lost support from them. I don't even know which one to play first, so I'm just going to play this one. So immediately, African Americans need, when politicians wish to talk about African Americans, it's always about the criminal justice system, because apparently that's a real black issue. All blacks are concerned with it. And of course, the cops are playing a role. So this is what Joe Biden thinks he's doing for the black community. This is the thing that's, really, really keeping them down. Police reform.
Where if you take a look at what we've done in terms of the number of police officers, or, most cops are killed, once responding in domestic
Still
violence.
too loud.
But we don't need more cops. What we need is more social workers. We need more people who are in communities building coalitions. That's growing across the country. That's growing in neighborhoods. That's growing. And we have to keep doing it.
So sorry about that, Roland. Thank you. I didn't know it was that loud. I thought I had the volume down. I'll play it again. Again, he believes that African American communities need social workers.
We're also in a situation where, if you take a look at what we've done in terms of the number of police officers, or, most cops are killed once responding in domestic violence or that. So we don't need more cops. What we need is more social workers.
We have more people killed, more police officers killed responding to domestic violence situations. So what they need are social workers, because apparently the police department is just agitating this domestic violence. And so black people need social workers. Okay. No one even thought of that as being a red flag for this guy. But no. Let's go one step further. Joe Biden, the reason why he's losing it with the black community is because he's not in the projects? What?
I think that one thing does change. It's not an excuse, an explanation. I would ordinarily be going through black neighborhoods on the foot, working through the neighborhoods. I have a tradition. I close every campaign, no matter what campaign, going into the projects and going down the east side. And, hey, Joe, well, how you doing? Well, just because they're my friends, let them know I'm still there. We can't do that now. Not because of the black community, because it's too dangerous for me to be out walking unaccompanied.
It's too dangerous for Joe to be chilling in the hood, son. Know what I'm saying? Joe can't chill in the hood no more. I used to chill when I was a senator. I'd be in the hood, east side, holla at you, drink a 40. You know what I'm saying? I'm president now. I can't come see your boy. Do you understand why it's important for you to talk to your black friends about talking? Coming here to listen to me. Do you understand? They need to hear this. They're never going to hear this any other place. They're talking to Ed Gordon over at BET. No one watches that network. No one. I didn't even know it existed. Yeah, the reason why I'm losing black constituents is because, I don't roll through the hood no more. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been to the Bogota. You mean bodega? Yeah, whatever. I can't with this dude. This is just, it's not even pandering. It's absolute disrespect. I don't go through the projects anymore. It's because that's where all the blacks are. Well, under his administration, that makes sense because clearly they're not buying homes. 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to CJ from the shore. Hello, CJ.
Reese, I can't believe this is even a topic of conversation because I got in my car today and I turned the radio on and I instantly said I'm going to call to talk about my experience this morning driving into Hartford. I was going in to be at work for 7, and I saw a young black man walking, and his clothes were kind of ripped and torn, and he had a backpack on, and on the backpack was a blanket. And as I passed him, I realized, and I'm going to get choked up, it was not a backpack. It was a little kid.
Oh, my goodness.
I instantly thought of my children. And I don't know what this man was doing. I don't know if he's homeless.
Wow.
I don't know his situation, but his clothes were worn. And
he was just walking through the streets of Hartford just with a baby, was it like the swaddle kind of a toddler.
Like a toddler.
It was wrapped in like one of those little swaddle blankets that a lot of the parents have on the back or in the front.
He was almost like the kid was on his back, like if you have a little boy, I don't know, on your back and you're walking around. Yeah. And when I realized it was a little kid, I said, "Oh my God, I don't know this man's situation. I don't want to judge, but I just felt like I wish I knew his situation."
Were you apprehensive about approaching him?
Well, I was in a car, so I'm I'm on my way to work.
Right.
And I just thought to myself, the people that are in the communities that I work in, that we live in, they need help so bad.
Clearly.
And I thought of the baby bonds that Eric Russell has for the state of Connecticut. That's not helping this man or that young boy or girl.
Is it because they don't know about them or because there's no way to reach them?
But my point is, even if this little child is born into this program and does have the access to the baby bonds, that's only good for them when they turn 18.
Wow.
We need to help these people now because the baby bonds is only going to be available when they're older, and most of their life is probably predetermined at that point.
Self-fulfilling prophecy at best. But, I'd say this, CJ, I understand you don't know what their situation is. And I know just on the outlook of that, right? Seeing that your empathy takes a hold of you. So you're just like, oh my God, how tragic, how awful this is. So we immediately go into assumption mode. How can we help them? Why haven't we helped them? Excuse me, what's that situation? We can't assume that this person is making the proper decisions. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I always get sort of verklempt whenever I see a homeless person with a dog, and I'm going, why won't you put that dog in, some place where someone will take care of them? There's no reason why the dog should be homeless with you. And the only reason why I say that is because I know people would think, wouldn't you want to get the shelter for the homeless person? Most of the guys that I see who are homeless with the dog, those guys refuse to go to a shelter. Trust me, I've tried. I've talked to them. As a former homeless person, I always approach them. I have no fear in that. So I would have said, not that you had the chance to do it, and I understand anyone's, especially a woman's, apprehension in saying something, because he could turn around and say, don't bother me, or how dare you, or leave me alone. But I just say, under the circumstances, if you ever see something like that again, and you want to help, ask someone who's probably, maybe even a guy, maybe if that person needs some help and see if we can get them some. I mean, that's the only way
Well,
to.
I guess my point is, though, the politicians in the state of Connecticut and the politicians in the federal government, they're
Mhm.
not helping the people.
Yeah, but we can't rely on them, CJ. That's where our first problem is, right? We're looking at a square peg in a round circle and saying that the only way for these people to get out of the situation they're in, we're relying on the most incompetent group of people in the world, and that's the government, local or federal. Clearly, that system has failed them.
I agree, but I say to myself, okay, so my taxes are high because of all these programs,
Correct.
but they're not actually helping people.
Exactly.
And I sit at my desk today, and I'm thinking the work I'm doing is so meaningless. I wish I could be actually making a change, because we need people with common sense, and not necessarily government. We just need people that have common sense to help these people, because. And I remember it was in, I think, Reagan's speech, somebody's speech, they were talking about, here we are still, people are poorer than ever. No, these people are not getting help. It's harder than ever for people to get by.
Then we all need to kind of, and I think this is fair to say, CJ, and this is no, of course, indictment of you. I get where you're coming from. I know you're looking for someone because you're probably not in a position to do it, but truth be told, and I think I said this yesterday, that the only way we really get change is if we begin with ourselves without relying on other people to do it. I always call it the Warren Buffett rule. When Warren Buffett is running around telling everybody that they need to pay more taxes, I say, Warren Buffett, cut a check. So all of us, when we see these people out there, we all need to cut a check, right? When we see homeless people out there, instead of waiting for others to do something, or why won't they do something, we need to do what we can. And like I said, even if it's $5 or even $1 or whatever the case may be, that may go a long way, even for the day or even for an hour. But I think that we can sort of get a motivation going if all of us sort of contribute to something that means something to us and get the bureaucracy out of the way. I think that human nature can actually save more lives than bureaucracy will. It's just my view.
Yes, and as I was leaving, I said to myself, man, what should I do? What can I do more? Can I work in I don't know, donate,
volunteer or donate? You can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Get in touch with. I'll give you a person to contact. Karen Thomas at the Friendly Hand Food Bank. She's a good friend of mine. Love her to death. Look up the Friendly Hand Food Bank. Get in touch with her, or Harry Bell in Bridgeport. It's called and I'll remember the name of it. And A Color of Positive Thought. That's it. A Color of Positive Thought, Harry Bell in Bridgeport. Those are two people I can give you right off the bat that you can give a phone call to right now and help them out, CJ. And thank you for the call. Thank you. An inspirational call, I might say. Let's go to BPS and BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right. Thank you very much, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound.
All right, let's test that volume.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, man. Damn, why is it so loud?
Yeah, it's like blowing past the red all the way to the back of the red, screaming.
Hold on.
Half mile before 46, Sisson Avenue up to 48, Capitol Avenue. 291, a little slow, getting over the Bissell Bridge.
That okay?
Nope, a little bit more.
Damn. Traveling 384, that
on.
looks good. Manchester into Bolton,
Let's
2
try
eastbound's
this.
okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, slowing Harbor Park to the Arizona Bridge. Look out for an accident. 691
Still too loud?
westbound.
Just a tad bit more.
Damn. Okay.
You've got delays back to exit 5 in Southern.
How about now?
Oh, that might be good right there. That's good right there.
Okay, perfect.
84, you got some slow traffic.
Damn, I'm sorry about that. I really didn't realize it was blasting through like that.
Slowing in Cheshire 26 up to 25A Austin Road. 84 eastbound, Danbury delays New York, Connecticut line up to exit 5. Again, some slow traffic. 84 eastbound from exit 9 in Newtown up to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway slowing by 60 in Hamden. Northbound Parkway tight 59 into the West Rock. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mixer clouds and sunshine the rest of this afternoon. Very warm, but less humid than recent days. High 86 to 90. Turning out clear tonight and more comfortable. Cooling down to low is 64. I'll see Sunday tomorrow. Nice low humidity.
Oh, my
high
God.
86.
Lou Dobbs, too?
Mostly clear,
Jesus.
comfortable tomorrow night, low 60. Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. A very warm, but not too humid. High 86 to 90. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Get a head start to your day with
BET stands for
WTIC
Biden
News
Entertainment.
Talk 1080. Listen to us live on the Odyssey app before you even hit the road. Get the breakdown
Oh,
of the biggest
God.
news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. And now,
John
a
Beckman just said that
WTIC
Lou
news
Dobbs
update.
passed away.
4:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The comedy world is mourning the loss of Bob Newhart. Word of his death came this afternoon. Newhart ditched his accountant's job for stand-up in the late 50s, winning a Grammy for his album The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart in 1960. He was also the star of TV sitcoms that bore his name in the 70s and 80s. Bob Newhart was 94. Calls continue to come in from his own party for President Biden to
KTLA
step
just
aside
reported
and
it.
Let someone else
Lou
take on
Dobbs dead
Donald
at
Trump this
78.
fall. This as Biden left the campaign trail for at least a few days after his positive COVID test on Wednesday. Trump will accept the Republican nomination for president for a third time when the RNC comes to a close tonight. We will have it here live on WTIC News Talk 1080 beginning at 9 Eastern. No injuries. Fire this morning in Seymour. Officials say sparks from nearby work ignited a gasoline tank at a salvage yard on Silvermine Road. Bodies of two swimmers who went missing on Candlewood Lake in Danbury have been found. The men went into the water from a boat on Monday but never resurfaced. And jazz will be in the air this weekend in Hartford. The 33rd annual Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz kicks off Friday, runs through Sunday. Over a dozen acts will grace the stage at Bushnell Park. There will also be craft and food vendors on hand as well. Wall Street, the Dow lost 533 points today. The NASDAQ dropped 125 and the S&P was down 43 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Intimacy, those special moments when we're together and deeply connected to the one we love. Truly, there are a few times in life that are as wonderful as these. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and it is the restoration of intimacy that makes me most proud of the work we do in treating erectile dysfunction. ED is an intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The condition causes stress, anxiety, and depression. Even worse, a man's partner can blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. For us at Northeast Men's Health, this is unacceptable because ED is simply a medical condition like any other, and we have many treatment options and treatment combinations that can stop ED in its tracks. In fact, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. So call us and get back those intimate moments. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Prescriptions required.
Oh, a minute.
The healthcare provider
Okay.
will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We are back. This is probably one of the hottest beats by LL Cool J. This one and
Absolutely.
and Ill Bomb on the Funkmaster Flex mixtape. The Ill Bomb.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 bangers.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good ones, but that one's a pure hip hop like boom bap beat. And again, Reese on the Radio. As I said, folks, anyone who knows about 777 Main in Connecticut, just give me a holler. Go to reaseontheradio.com. And is it okay? I will thank you, Michael B. I appreciate that. Apparently, I'm having some technical difficulties that I need to handle. By the way, you can always go to reasoontheradio.com to check out the program, because you can sort of chat with us while you're there. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Look at that. There's no data actually going in on the online thing. This is the reason why I could never be a technical guy. This is the only reason why I can't be a technical guy, because it's annoying to do this stuff. When we come back, we'll take your phone calls, so don't forget about that. So if you want to call in, and then tomorrow, please do not forget tomorrow, we got the airing of grievances, which in essence is you're just going to air your grievance about whatever is going on in your life, whatever's going on in the world. You want to grieve about it. You know, you want to give your 2 cents. That's fine. We, expect you to be, just no bad talk. You know what I mean by bad talk. Don't say any of the words. And just come in and just air the grievance. Anyway, don't do anything slanderous. Just air the grievance about whatever it is that's driving you up the wall, and we'll talk about that. And I want to hear whatever it is that's ticking you off as well. And don't forget, again, if you have somebody that might be of the African-American persuasion, let them know about Reese on the Radio. Tell them to come over, and hang out. I think we should broaden our listenership, especially in that community. Again, as they say, the underserved community. I think that talk radio is an area in which African Americans are underserved, and I know that they want to go over there and shake the tail feather and blaze the hip hop and R&B. I get it. People love the mumble rap, the mumbling rap that makes no sense. With the Bacardi B's and the Cuervo's. Nice, whatever it is. What's the other one's name? Ice Spice, or what's
Ice Spice?
Ice, is that her name? Ice Spice.
Sexy Red. I like Glorilla personally.
Her name is Gorilla.
Glorilla.
Is that what Glo?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got a song that says yeah glow, but I always say yeah ro instead.
Yes, Glorilla. I thought that was racially insensitive to her. For someone to refer to themselves in that manner. It's actually...
Yeah, and her chain is a gorilla, so...
Is it really? Jesus, nothing is off limits, huh? This is the reason why I can't listen. This is the reason why we play the true hip-hop here when I'm here. We don't play any of that garbage. As Mark Christopher, when Mark Christopher can like the hip hop music that Roland plays for me, that's how you know it's good music. Because Mark Christopher, who's very astute in the BPS Traffic Center, he knows good hip hop music when he hears it.
Yes, I do.
Mark Christopher.
Yes, I do.
Who's your favorite out of everybody? I remember I asked you this before, but you had if you had a favorite hip hop group, not rapper, just group, could be 2 guys or more.
Quest.
Who's that?
Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called Quest. Okay, good. In the realm.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. I remember.
That's right.
I heard recently.
There. That's right. They made it in last year, I believe.
Yeah. I think they'll be inductees this year.
Coming up this year?
Yeah, I think they're going to be in this year.
Okay.
So I'm very proud of them.
Be November in Cleveland.
Yes. Rest in peace, Fife Dog, the underserved, underrated Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest.
There you go. Good stuff. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, we're seeing delays 91 southbound from 33 down to 32, again down.
Yeah, 5 to my to one of my artists I was writing for.
Oh, really?
From Cromwell.
Yeah, little Nico from San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you are traveling on,
It was his
look for delays.
his main guy because he was trying to get involved in all that street stuff when he wasn't from the streets.
Yeah.
To 48.
So Five Dog had to calm him down, say hey,
wow,
this ain't for you.
From 9 northbound,
Damn.
slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 691 westbound. You're going to.
I never met him though.
As you move up.
Fife?
Exit 8.
Yeah, I never met him.
Only
I never
met
got to meet him.
Q-Tip. Only met Q-Tip. They never really hung out together.
We've got a problem on the left side of the ramp on 691 West to exit 8B that takes you to 84 West. So that left lane is blocked there as they work with either disabled or an accident there. So look out for that. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound slowing by exit 18, 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing New York Connecticut line out to exit 3. Again, delays from exit 8 in Danbury out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway slowing, getting by exit 60. Northbound Parkway slowing 59 into the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound New Haven slows 46 down to exit 44. And 91 southbound, you've got slow traffic as you move from exit 3 down in toward the 95 interchange. And look out for an accident 95 southbound in Guilford. That is down by exit 59, so delays behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we are going to see a blend of clouds and sunshine. It is going to be hot out there as well as we head up to a high of 90 degrees. And clear skies and moonlit tonight. We'll have a low of 64. Tomorrow turns out mostly
I think
sunny
we got
and less
kicked
humid
out
with high pressure bills overhead.
because
high of 86 tomorrow, mostly clear once again tomorrow night. Low down to 60.
we were playing LL Cool J. I think the
Saturday's
censors
gonna be a
were
hot
just
day
like,
with high
oh, no
sunny
licensing
clouds
for that.
to a high of 90 degrees and partly sunny and hot. Once again on Sunday, at a high of 91.
Shout out to the
Right now,
crew.
it's
We hear
81
you in the
Kansas,
hood.
83
I made a
degrees in
mistake by
Manchester,
making
and 85
a
in
mistake,
Hartford.
and it cost me a
This is the
nickel.
meteorologist
Blessing to the
Isaac Lowe with
children and you and yours.
WTIC Weather Center.
Keep keeping it a buck
Start
with
your
love.
day with
Thank
all
you,
the
late
latest sports
textual. I
information.
appreciate
Master
you.
Royce
I
with an
appreciate
update from
you.
the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
At the Carter Mario Law Firm, we've recovered over $1 billion for injured people. When you need someone to fight for you, you need to get Carter in your corner. Visit getcarter.com or call us at 877-GET-CARTER.
Every woman has individual needs based on age, background, and family history. Trinity Health of New England's women's healthcare team is here to help you make your health a priority at every stage of life. With experience and focus on all aspects of women's health, we care for you as a whole person. From healthy living and preventive care to treatments for a wide variety of conditions, we are dedicated to keep you healthy and feeling your best. Visit trinityhealthofne.org/women to learn more.
Rotisserie chicken.
Hold on a minute.
Thank
Hot
you,
water,
sir.
mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Let's make sure that
Learn
we
about
put
Navient's
Mark
high-efficiency tankless water heater.
Mark in
Endless
West
hot water.
Hartford
All
at
while
the
helping you
end.
save on your energy
If
costs.
anything, we'll put him in on the
Look
first
at
part
this.
of
Our utility bill
the
is
5
lower
o'clock
since
hour.
we got the Navien tankless water
And we'll run
heater.
through
Who's in
Rick,
hot
Jeff,
water now?
John, and
all
Chris.
the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And we are back. What is it? A Pharrell beat?
Yeezy.
Is it really?
Yeah, with the song Swiss Beats, Yeezy, Rihanna.
Ugh, goodness gracious. Nope, not interested.
Yeah, all the greats.
Let's not get too far.
Well, they got one great on there. Kanye is a great.
Yeah, Kanye. I like Kanye. Michael B says, Reese, you seeing all these business owners having to close their Facebook pages and some doors due to posts about the oh, wow, I didn't know that. Wow. I did not know that. That's sad. Anyway, to the phones we go. The next hour, I got to do a big monologue, so stick around for that one. Yeah, exactly. Nat King Cole, indeed. Let's go to Rick in Cheshire. You're on Reese on the Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Hey, sir.
Looking forward to Donald Trump tonight.
So am I.
Huge audience, I would imagine.
Mhm.
I wonder what the Nielsen number would be with the amount of people that are going to be watching, independents and Democrats included.
If he does better than
Immigration-
51 million, that would be beyond the scope of the debate.
Yeah, and I'm anticipating that he will. So it's a huge opportunity. And hopefully, and I'm sure he'll cover the pillars of immigration and trade and manufacturing and energy. But with immigration, rather than just talking about the lie of the border being open and
Right.
what Joe Biden and everyone, talk about hopefully the malice, the intent, and the long and short term effects of this for Democrat voters as well.
Yeah.
Because he's always kind of bombastic on that. It's like they're emptying their prisons, they're emptying the mental institutions, they're here amongst us, and we got to deport them.
Right.
Let people know that the reason that the Democrats are bringing them here, the malice behind it, is to build a coalition of future Democrat voters, lower wages that negatively affect especially Black and brown working class communities.
In fact, I would use it in an anecdotal way, Rick, by making the statement directly towards the African American activists that we've seen in the last in the last year or so. Those African American activists in Chicago who have been shouting down Mayor Byron Johnson, talking about the millions that he's spending invading, in essence, he's invading, not even the migrants who are there. He is invading those communities by shutting down their civic centers and the kids' schools and other community centers in order to house them. So I would directly mention the names of those individuals in Chicago who were outraged at how they're being treated in their own cities that they helped build, as a sort of an anecdotal way to make that claim.
Yeah, and because a lot of times he comes across as, look what he's doing to us.
Yes,
and like he's
exactly.
To Republicans. It should be also, look what he's doing to you.
Right.
Look what he's doing. You meaning the Democrat voter.
That's right.
And, you're included in that. You're underneath that umbrella, even more so on the registered Democrats that are in those communities that are heavily affected, and that their cities and their resources are being siphoned away.
Yeah.
Given to illegals in their sanctuary cities. So
he's in an opportunity. He's in an opportunity, Rick, to sort of deep dive in the way that you're talking about. Right? You can be broad, but be specific. And as you just said, like to Democrats, like you need to talk to Chicago. You need to talk to New York. You need to talk to Denver. And everyone will notice that he's speaking specifically to areas he knows he's got no shot in winning, with the exception of maybe even New York. But like he is talking directly to them and saying to you in New York, I want you to understand how this affects you. We've seen the results of this behavior. We've seen the results of these policies in Chicago and how those people are rising up to push back against these policies. If he can make that point, I think that will sort of cement people in that party or in the Democrat Party to say, you know what, now he's talking to us, and no one's been doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Rather than saying, under me, this is what was happening,
right?
And this is what they're doing to you. Don't talk about on your side what you were doing that was so great.
Yeah.
Show them the effect of what is happening right now.
Yeah, exactly
Tell them
right.
why it's happening.
Yeah, it's a perfect tone.
So hopefully that works.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Let's go to Jeff in Marlboro. Hello, Jeff. You want to Reese on the radio?
Hey, Reese. How you doing today?
Pretty good, sir.
So I got a few questions for you. I'll try and make it quick.
Okay.
I got like 4 things I wanted to talk about of stuff that you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The Black community term, like.
I'm sorry. I use that tongue in cheek. I should clear that up. There's no such thing, and I say it tongue in cheek.
Okay, because I was just wondering, like, I mean, it would seem presumptive and racist, especially for a white guy like me, to think every black guy knows every other black guy in the neighborhood. You know?
Yes, I apologize. I was being tongue in cheek, but I appreciate you asking before you made a presumption.
Okay. I've heard that term for years and years and years, and I never understood it because
it's a myth.
I'm a white guy. I'm a white guy, and I don't have like a white guy community.
That's exactly right.
my neighbors. I know one of my neighbors. That's about it, And So, anyways, just wanted to ask because I hear that term used a lot, and I'm thinking, do people really believe in that term? Is it true? Do you really?
Let me explain it to you this way, Jeff. It's a way to sound monolithic without sounding monolithic, right? Because you can't, right? You're not supposed to say that all black people think alike, but if you use a term like black community, that's you saying it. So the black community is concerned about this issue and that issue. So are they all monolithic? Well, no. I said, then why do you refer to them as the black community? Do they all get together? Like, I was making fun of them because I was just like, do I call 1-800-BLACK? Like how do I get the download? Like, am I going to, 1-800-BLACK, like 34-BLACK? It's like when you call up and you pick up the phone and it's like, what's up, brother? Today we're discussing this. I'm like, I don't know. So I say it tongue in cheek because I want to get people out of this idea. They all know it. Like if you were to talk to any average black person, they would go, look, no, there's no such thing. I live my life. I don't know how he lives his life or what his needs are or what his demands are or how he wishes to. We don't. We say black community because in essence, we get to say they're all one group and they behave a certain way. It's like trying not to be racist with a racist term. That's all it is.
Well, it just seems strange because people use that term, and a lot of black people use that term.
Indeed. Because it's weight. Because it's used as weight. That's all. It's using blackness as a bludgeon. That's what it is.
If I was to say, all these black people are the same, they have the same community.
Right.
That would be a terrible thing to say.
Exactly. But when I say it, Jeff, it's an empowerment. It's sort of like the N-word.
Well, I definitely ain't saying that one.
I'm sorry. I just had to get that one in. Thank you. I appreciate you, Jeff. Let's go to John in the car. Hello, John. You're on Reese On The Radio on the Todd Feinberg Show. Say again?
No, John, you got Mark.
Oh, okay, Mark. What about Chris? Do I still have Chris? I want Mark. I want to hold on Mark.
No, Chris. Fred, and Mark.
Okay, then let's go to Mark. Hello, Mark is in West Hartford. What's up, my good friend?
You want to hold on to me?
I wanted you to be last so I could give you some time.
I got to run. So listen, I'm going to use the term black community, but first, a couple of callers ago, and I came in late. She's saying she saw a toddler like unsafe or in distress.
Well, no, the way that she said she saw I guess an adult black male. His clothing was tattered, and she thought he was carrying a backpack. But because she was in the distance, as she got closer to him, she noticed that it was a toddler, who was sort of like in one of the. Do you ever see like the African women or some of these hippie women who have the swaddled kind of thing? Yeah. So it was something along that line.
The child looked like he was alive and thriving. It might have been hot. I get that. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is, and I want to tell your listeners. You know what? See something, say something. Don't be afraid to call 911. You're not going to get in trouble if they send an officer out and it happens to be nothing.
That's right.
But instead she probably should have, maybe next time if she's listening, if you see something where you might see something unsafe, maybe they both needed some help. But you know what? Why chance it? Just call. They send somebody.
Right.
You're not going to get in trouble. You don't even have to give your name when they ask.
Yeah, it's funny because you say that, and I think about, look, when I was a kid and I was being abused, when I was in like the 5th grade, and I was being abused by my mom, she was leaving marks all over my arm and my body. And my teacher saw them when I walked in. My mom did not care about how she abused me. And those marks were all over my arms, like exposed. And I was forced to wear like short sleeve shirts, so we couldn't hide it at all. And she didn't care to hide it. What I thought was the most amazing thing growing up, knowing better as a kid, it was just, I'm a kid. But when I got older and thought about that, I was like, wow, it's amazing that no one in my school, a teacher, an adult, no one ever thought to call Child Protective Services on me.
Yeah. Oh, it's sad. One day I'll tell you all about my career in Hartford and how many FUs I got from the citizens when I would call them out for doing all the wrong things and whatever. But anyway, hey, listen, they're going to have to send some social workers over to Glastonbury to minister to the black community that's been going there to visit. So this really disturbing event took place again in Glastonbury, but this affects all of this is a local story.
Okay.
That again was incomplete by our media. And this has happened in the past. So thanks to our liberal woke Democrats and the people they put in charge of our judicial system, I think it's a court order policy or just the order itself or even a law. So now the individual towns in Connecticut can't keep visitors from going to public recreational properties within the town. So all 169 properties could be subject to what happened to Glastonbury. So just by coincidence, it's called Cotton Hollow. And for some reason, it's become like a weekend haven. They think it's through social media where they just can't, the police cannot, I guess, keep people safe anymore. It's a public safety issue.
So in essence, what is it? Is it a large gathering where sometimes violence breaks out at this particular place?
Not only violence, but more importantly, once they go there, so let's say the gathering starts and they're trying to get it under control. So they're pretty savvy. I know the area myself. And so they back their cars in with no front license plate. So a lot of these vehicles shouldn't even be on the road.
Right.
And what's happened was, and why it's a public safety issue, is once the cops are called there or they start to initiate some type of breakup of the events taking place there, drugs are being ingested, alcohol. Literally, I was about to say, they've actually got videos of people having intercourse, like on the walking
Holy
trail.
moly.
So, a couple of hundred will gather within minutes. And they had to close this down back in 2020, but for some reason it started back up again. But they're handcuffed. The officials in Glastonbury, along with the police. The only way to stop it, Reese, you have to shut down this public venue. This is supposed to be enjoyed,
It's supposed to be family friendly.
Well, there used to be a time in Connecticut where you could have a residency-only requirement.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah, and so now once you take that away, because that truly is maybe the only way they can get a handle on it.
Right. So now it's sort of turned into a free-for-all, but the people in Glastonbury can't do anything about it, of course, because they're apprehensive about saying anything to a bunch of black people at the place.
So let me ask you this. Just like we know the media avoids this, and I don't know, do we call it the elephant in the room? When I see quads and dirt bike parades, who are they mostly made up of? Mostly black and brown male occupants.
Good point.
Riders, right?
Yeah.
And so now we know, and I know, and it's a visual thing. There's all types of videos you can see. But why is this left out of the narrative when they were getting this presented by local media?
Wow.
I mean, this is a thing. I mean, we have a.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go to a break, Mark. But let me know more about this so I can actually get some. I'm gonna get some actual context here on that. And you know what? We'll find out.
On Twitter, though.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely check it out. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading into Hartford, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 IMB, again 27 to 28. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you are traveling in the westbound side of 84, look for delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's tight a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 eastbound tight approaching the Bissell Bridge as you head into South Windsor. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlborough. Now 9 northbound, you've got delays 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you are traveling 691 westbound, some slow traffic between exit 7 and exit 8B. We had an earlier problem there in the left lane that's been cleared. 84 eastbound in Waterbury slowing by exit 18. 84 eastbound in Danbury tight 3 to 5. And 84 eastbound slowing in Danbury again from 8 out to exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, look for some slow traffic approaching and getting by exit 60. In Hamden, South 95 tight 46 down to 44. Look out for an accident southbound 95 in Guilford down by exit 59. Looks like delays are back to looks like it's back to exit 60 now, or 61 now behind that as you move down into Guilford. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. We cover a range of hot topics such as the national debt, making your money last in retirement, and more. So let's retire right. Tune in to Money Wisdom Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Lowering humidity the remainder of today. A mix of clouds and sun. Nice low humidity, a pleasant day with a high of 86 and staying comfortable tomorrow night. Mainly clear with the low of 60. Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Very warm Saturday afternoon, but not too humid. High 86 to 90. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The bodies of two men who went missing on Candlewood Lake in Danbury this week have been recovered. 26-year-old man and a 38-year-old man went into the water Monday night from a boat on the lake, but never resurfaced. The discoveries were made this morning. Bodies will be taken to the office of the chief medical examiner for autopsies. It's the biggest night of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Former President Donald Trump has remade the party and its platform, summoned his vanquished foes to the convention stage to endorse him, and now he'll accept the Republican nomination for president for the third straight cycle. California delegate Ricardo St. Louis Franklin expects Trump to be more reflective, bringing the perspective of a man who was almost assassinated just 5 days ago.
I just want to actually sit back, no expectations, listen, learn, and just experience it. That's the honest to God truth.
Doug Sovereign for CBS News, Milwaukee.
Vice President Harris campaigned against former President Trump today in North Carolina.
He will continue to sell out working families. He will continue to attack reproductive freedom, and he will continue to undermine our democracy.
The comments came as President Biden deals with COVID and continued calls from those in his party to step aside. Now, Biden is off the campaign trail after that positive test. Dr. Ulysses Wu, chief epidemiologist at Hartford Healthcare, says there has been an increase in the number of cases recently.
And since mid-June, we've certainly seen a little bit of an increase until recently, where it's certainly gone up a lot more.
Wu says there are several reasons for this.
There's some new, what we call mutations or variants out there that are probably driving this across not just the United States or Connecticut, but across the country and the world as well.
He also says with the hot weather, more people may be staying indoors and air conditioning helping to fuel that spread. No human cases of West Nile virus have turned up yet in Connecticut this year, and officials are hoping it stays that way. They are warning the public to take precautions because the virus is spreading among mosquitoes. It's turned up in 8 towns and cities thus far, primarily in Fairfield County, plus some in New Haven and in Wethersfield. Dr. Phil Armstrong with the Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station in New Haven says you can expect mosquito bites, or prevent them actually, by wearing bug spray and taking other action.
Just cover up. Wear long sleeves and shirts and pants when outside when mosquitoes are most active, which is typically between dusk and dawn. And then the other thing is just around the home, you want to eliminate any standing water around your house because those could serve as sites for mosquito breeding.
He says prevention is key since there's no cure for West Nile. The state has 4 recorded West Nile deaths since 2000. Comedian Bob Newhart has died.
No, Mr. Hastings. Oh, he's late. Being chronically late is a problem he's seeing me about. Don't think I'm making too much headway.
The accountant pivoted to a career in stand-up comedy in the late 50s, won an Emmy for his comedy album, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, in 1960, and played befuddled psychologist Bob Hartley, who you heard there, in the 70s. 4 years after the Bob Newhart show concluded, he was back with Newhart in the 80s, playing the owner of a Vermont inn. Bob Newhart was 94. Wall Street, the Dow lost 533 points today. The NASDAQ dropped 125, and the S&P lost 43 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Warm and
of the one. As head of
All right, we're
maintenance
ready.
at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
At Batteries Plus, we know off is not an option. Off is an RV that won't travel or a boat that doesn't start. It's summertime. You need to be on vacation, on the water, on the road. Batteries Plus has batteries for your car, boat, motorcycle, and more. Plus portable power solutions, phone repair, and key remote services you can rely on. Summer's here. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And we're back with more music by Pharrell.
Yeah.
I think someone's obsessing about the little funny looking, what's he look like? Oh, was it Dudley Do-Right? 'Cause I'm happy. With the silly little hats that he wears. He's so adorable. Little Pharrell. If you like that kind of thing, I think he's an interesting character. Clearly gifted producer, don't get me wrong.
He got the new Lego movie coming out where he's going to talk about his life, so that'll be interesting.
He has a Lego movie coming out?
Yeah, he's producing the whole thing, and he's talking about his life. And
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
In Lego form.
In Lego form. I'm sure that will be interesting. The kids ought to love it. I haven't gone to, it's funny because right now, movies are an interesting place right now for me. And I know I brought this up before, but I really do believe that movies have not, I used to go to movies every weekend. It was a big deal. And now I don't go. And I've got to go for like the big Marvel stuff. I don't bother to see DC movies. I'm just not a fan. I know some people are going to probably rip on me about that. You don't like the DC movies? No, I don't. I don't like anything about the DC movies. I've never liked the DC characters. I didn't even like DC comics when I was a kid. With the exception of Batman.
I just like Batman.
Yeah, Batman is probably the only thing I'm ever going to like about them. Superman is corny to me, except for Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve is Superman. That's just it. Okay? It's it. I can't go anywhere else. So I just miss those days of, the Superman, and maybe Michael Keaton as Batman is always going to be great for me. That's all.
Oh, Michael Keaton is your favorite Batman?
He is, and you know what? And I was totally against it. I ripped it when I found out, like many others, when I found out he was going to be Batman. I ripped it. I was like, no, that's Mr. Mom. You don't put him in a bat suit. Like, that's not going to work. And then he does it, and I went to the premiere before it was even out in theaters with a bunch of friends, and I was like, oh, Tim Burton may be onto something. And again, it clearly it's Tim Burton who can turn anybody into anything, if you think about it. Tim
he's
Burton,
a beast.
Isn't he insane? Tim Burton is just, that's the kind of guy who has trap doors in his house and lives in
I'm never going to his house.
He lives in a haunted house. You just know he does. And his girlfriend, Helena Bonham Carter, you know that they both think, like they're on a Ouija board at dinner conjuring up spirits. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Are you a Tim Burton fan at all?
I like some of his stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, because he loves working with Johnny Depp. That's his guy.
That's true.
Oh, my
No
goodness.
question about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Was
admit.
that Edward Scissorhands?
Yes.
Was that one of his movies?
Yes.
I love that movie.
Which, by the way, I'm thinking about Anthony Michael Hall. Talk about unrecognizable in that movie. Anthony Michael Hall is the bad guy in Edward Scissorhands. And it took me years after the movie came out and went, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was all buff. He didn't look like Brian from The Breakfast Club. He was completely unrecognizable.
There you go. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, overall, we're in pretty good shape. We're just seeing the typical delays, 91 southbound, 34 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28.
Hey, what part of Texas you in?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. Oh, so you close to my sister. She in
Yeah.
San Antonio.
Oh, word?
84 eastbound.
Yeah. The Air Force.
6th Avenue up to 48 Capitol
Oh,
Avenue.
of course, yeah.
Oh, she retired. She's retired though.
Okay.
She retired at 38. I said, get the fuck out of here.
Glastonbury into Marlboro. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge. Northbound, we have an accident now reported.
Years in, so he still got some time.
32 the left lane shut down there. There's delays behind that. If you're traveling 84 eastbound into Waterbury, brief slowdown by 18. 84 westbound slows 26 in Cheshire to 25A in Waterbury. 84 eastbound in Danbury tight by 3. Again, 84 eastbound slowing from exit 8 up to exit 9 in Newtown. Again, 10 to 11 on the eastbound side of 84 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway a little slow by 60 in Hamden. Northbound Parkway slowing by 58, again by 59 on the northbound side of the Parkway. South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44. Delays 61 in Madison down to 59 in Guilford. An accident on the southbound side of 95 in Guilford. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Sunshine mixing with clouds for the rest of this afternoon. It's going to be very warm out there with a high of 90 degrees.
You got Fred and Christine. That's the only two left.
Okay,
Low of
good enough.
64. As we head into tomorrow, mostly sunny skies and turning less humid out there. Overall, much more comfortable with a high of 86. And we'll see mainly clear skies once again tomorrow night, low down to 60. Then the heat starts to build back in as we head into the weekend. Saturday, going to be turning out hot with times of sun and clouds. The high Saturday up to 90. And we'll see a mix of sun and clouds on Sunday. Another hot day with a high temperature of 91. Right now it's 83 in Plainville, 82 degrees in Tolland, and 83 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Lately, it seems like everyone is losing so much weight and there's constant speculation. What are they all taking? Maybe you've tried various ways of losing weight yourself and you're wondering what the secret is. Well, this is Alice Shattuck with great news. You actually don't have to resort to any extreme measures or expensive pharmaceuticals to lose extra body fat quickly and sustainably with Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 is not a diet or a drug. Awaken 180 coaches analyze your body composition with science-based tools and personalize your program so you eat real food while reaching your weight loss goals faster than you thought was possible. We talk to listeners every day who, like us, have lost 20, 50, 100 pounds in a matter of months on Awaken 180 weight loss. Best of all, the only side effect is that you'll feel full of energy and better than you have in years. And Awaken 180 provides you free maintenance coaching for life after the program to sustain your new lifestyle without paying another dime. Book your first appointment today at the Cromwell office by calling 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Paid for by government.
1 minute.
A secret
All
hoard
right.
of 1904 $20 gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3077. Call now, and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order.
Yeah, Tim.
1-973-3077 now to secure your 1904p $20 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3077.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
I got a text message from Matt, who called up earlier and was making this mention about I'm not giving any props to West Coast rappers. Let me make this abundantly clear. When I am talking about hip hop, I never mention West Coast rappers because hip hop has MCs. The West Coast has rappers. There is a difference. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Why is it that people don't understand it? We're of the age right now. We're the Generation Xers. We're the ones who primarily listen to talk radio now. It's no longer our parents, right? This is so hip hop is a part of us. So I'm not saying anything like telling tales out of school or talking about something too young. Those of us who know the golden era of hip hop is 88 to 93. And in that, we got some rappers coming out, okay? Eazy-E is not an MC. Eazy-E was a rapper. He just was. He's just a rapper. In fact, someone had to write his rhymes, and if you know the story, Eazy-E had to read each line piece by piece when he recorded his album because he couldn't keep rhythm at all. So he was barely a rapper. Ice Cube was the rapper in NWA. And I'm sorry, West Coast rappers were very simple. Where hip-hop artists on the East Coast...
Nah, Snoop.
Snoop actually borrowed from the East Coast. That's why on his first album, he has a song called Lottie Dottie, which is an homage to Slick Rick on the East Coast. Can we please show some love? Can we show some love and adoration? Yes, we can. I just want to get that out there. It's not so much about we invented hip-hop. It's just that people on the West Coast turned it into something different. It became more musical and innovative. And then Dr. Dre comes out and puts a little groove into it. He completely turned the whole game around. Next thing you know, people on the East Coast who were doing more lyrical stuff and talking about social issues, all of a sudden everybody was talking about bang, bang, shoot 'em up, Negro die slow. That's what happened. When NWA came out and they found out that was profitable, everybody became a gangster rapper. That's just how it worked. 1994, Biggie Smalls comes out and he sort of brings that gangster music with a stylish flair to it. The rest is history. That's all. And I'm giving a very condensed version of that. But nonetheless, forget about me and I'm all that nonsense. I just got the text message. But come on, we know. You know, rappers are rappers, MCs are MCs, hip-hop is hip-hop, rap is rap. That's all. It's different. It's the same, music. I don't know what garbage is happening today. I couldn't tell you. I know there's people with tattoos all over their faces and weird outfits and pants hanging off their sides talking about everyone's ex-girlfriends. I don't know. They're using their real names. Nobody's even making up names anymore. They're actually using their given names. That's not hip-hop at all. Anyway, back to the phones we go. Christine's on the line. Let's go to Christine. You're on Reese On The Radio. Hello. Thank you for waiting, Christine. How are you?
Hi, Reese. Glad to hear you again. I saw something that Tony D'Angelo talked about on his YouTube show, and it had the screenshot of the front page of the Hartford Courant today, and it led off with Trump candidate served prison time, and that's referring to Michael Massey. He's the Republican endorsed candidate in the 3rd congressional district that's going against Rosa DeLauro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was in bad taste by the Current. If he was a Democrat, they would have been throwing bouquets and rolling out the red carpet for him.
You know what? Maybe I'm missing something. Since 2004, right? My first introduction to the Current, I didn't get the impression, or maybe it was because it was in 2004. I didn't get the impression that they were known for any particular partisanship. That could be my naivete. But do you believe that there's a slant with them today that's even more so than ever before? I do get the impression that they're very stenographer type. You know what I mean? They just report whatever it is that they're told, and there's no real sort of, I don't want to use the term journalism, but there's no real investigative reporting going on.
Reese, they kind of put me in a bad light back in March when I spoke out against the trans flag being flown up above the Kremlin on Capitol Avenue, and Alison Cross, reporter, had to mention how I was on the Family Institute of Connecticut coalition that wrote the proposed Let Parents Parent bill, and that just to put a sour taste with the Rainbow Mafia. So yeah, they have some slants, and they did get them.
You've adopted my term. The Rainbow Mafia. I'm sorry. Mine is called yours is Rainbow Mafia. I apologize. Mine is the Rainbow Jihad.
But they both fit. But this is the Current, and I met Michael Massey at our other state rep, Nigel Macon Wilson's kickoff, and I thought Michael, I liked what he said, and we had a very nice long talk. It was great, and I pledge my full support, and I will vote for him as on the 33rd district candidate I am now in Middletown.
So Allison Cross, is she a little more fair and balanced?
She writes about the LGBT stuff. No, not towards me, because at the legislative office building, she pointed out that my op-ed in CT Mirror to a trans rights activist
Right.
to put me in a bad light.
See, it's so funny because I wanted her on the show, Christine, and she was very elusive about it. Because remember she did that story about the 67-year-old Calvin who was sleeping on a staircase?
Oh,
and
that's right.
Remember that when I first got here, and he was sleeping on a staircase, and we got him into housing, or we got him into a facility where he was going to get his back surgery finally. I tried to get her on the show. And of course, that was a great story because, I was a little upset at her that she had only, sort of reported the story and she didn't really reach out to any resources that could get him some help. But you know what? Nonetheless, my reporting got Hartford police on the ball and, they ended up getting him into a shelter. But I wanted to call her to talk about that issue as a former homeless person. And she got to me late. Like a day later, and I didn't know when I was going to be back, but then I never heard from her again. So I was under the impression, did she not want to go on the air? Was she, did she thought that I was going to be sort of like heavy-handed with her? I don't know.
Well, all I could tell you, Reese, there is a bias towards conservative minority people.
Of course.
We are supposed to be the ones that are the recipient of, quote, DEI agendas, and we speak out against it. So we are blacklisted, I think, put in negative light by the mainstream media.
Mm-hmm. I understand. You know what? It's got to be. It's one of those things that has to be pushed back against. But find the allies where you can. And I know you Kali's a good friend of yours. And he's probably one of the foremost that talks about the news that very rarely anyone else in the mainstream media is talking about. We just have to find the allies where they are. Hopefully. And we've got some connections here with WTNH. Just find out who they are and see if you can get them, at least to trust them, to see if they can get some sort of word out. But I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know about that. That's important to know.
Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, Christine. Always. And who's the other one that I had on, Roland? I'm sorry.
You got Fred, and now you got Joe in Simsbury.
Okay, well, let's take Fred. Thank you. I love Joe. Good. I'm glad Joe's calling. Let's take Fred. Hello, Fred. You on with Reese on the Radio?
Hey, three real quick things. Okay, Fred on fashion, quote, the lower the sag, the bigger the drag, quote. And I listened to this thing called When Radio Was, and Superman from the radio, 1948.
Wow.
They pitched Pep cereal. It's probably like, it's sweet, it's crunchy, it's, oh my God.
Pep cereal, it sounds like the greatest name ever, probably selling exactly what it would do.
It's probably at least 35% white sugar.
Exactly.
And now I heard recently you used to write for Howard Stern. We're King of All Blacks and Angry Black.
King of All Blacks, actually, on the Howard Stern show, I was a writer and a producer for his short-lived show on the satellite broadcast. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
He and I are not cool today.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure why.
Well, you're not cool, dude.
No, I have no idea why. I think it was an allegiance thing with a former coworker or something like that, and he chose sides. And I still love the guy. I mean, I thought he was fantastic.
He's from the dark side. Vinnie Penn was like basically going there to audition to become one of his Rat Packers, and then 9/11 happened. And I think that was a blessing.
That's
because
unfortunate.
Howard Stern, man, he's pushing the vaccine. He's just a piece of crap. He was making $30 million on the radio.
Don't listen.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into because it starts such a sad thing with me, and maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But no, nothing about that. It's just that something you just said brought out the worst of me because again, I have some heroes in this business, and for a while Howard was one of them, and I got to compete against him. In New York, and it was something that I really, really loved. He showed me a lot of love, and whatever it is that he's turned into today is absolutely sad. In my view, it broke my heart into the person he turned into. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that was an influence on some sort of level or I guess a caution that he took. But I'll tell you like this. Nothing is worse than watching somebody in the business who was a rebel. And when I say a rebel, not in a righteous a righteous way. He was just a rebel because he wanted to do the things that he was doing. He was Lenny Bruce. He was Lenny Bruce on radio. And he left terrestrial radio to go to satellite. And that was strike one for me, because in the business of radio, if they're not going to allow you to do the show that you're doing, you acclimate to the point where they either acquiesce or you make yourself better, right? The medium's going to be here, but I feel like he cut and he sort of put his tail between his legs and ran so he could do what the cable news or cable channel version of radio, which I thought was a disservice to his fans, in my view.
If I might take a shot at summarizing what he did, the hill he was willing to die on was being dirty.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to give that up.
That's right.
What's up with that?
That's right. Exactly.
And I tell you, like, speaking of dirty, I think he was kind of playing footsies with the devil the whole time. And you do that only for so long, before you're
but in my view, like, we knew, look, the day of the shock jock is dead, right? There was an era for that. Yeah. But when you're a legend and you're in this business, you don't cut tail. You just make the show better, because that's what you do.
He broke your heart. I get
He
it.
did.
Yeah.
He did. He did. And I was competing against him when he left.
Yeah.
I wanted him to stay because I wanted to keep competing with him. So that's my story. I can tell that story walking any other day. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Who's my last one before we take a break real quick?
Joe and Simsbury. I don't know if you want to take them now.
Yeah, you know what? I don't, because Joe's probably going to have some great stuff to tell me. Joe is. If you can, please, Joe, hold on for me. I want to read some of the comments in here. Because, of course, when I start talking about hip hop versus rap music, people immediately want to chime in. Let me see. DMX was one of the best lyricists. Agreed, but I thought he was a novelty rapper. And people may be mad at me for that, but I think it was a novelty. And the reason why I say that is because out of nowhere, rappers were wearing bandanas on their heads with their shirts off. And that, to me, was novelty. And what was this? Leave My People Alone, Reese. Listen, I don't know whose people I'm bothering. I'm just saying people on the West Coast, they just had a completely different genre of music. It wasn't hip hop. It just wasn't hip hop. It just didn't. It just isn't. There was no breakdancing on the West Coast. I don't know what they were doing in Boogaloo, in Electric Boogaloo. I don't know what that was. That wasn't even pop locking. It was just weird. It looked like gang violence. That's set to beats. Just bad. Just bad. Break-in and Electric Boogaloo. We had Beach Street on the East Coast. What in God's name were you folks doing on the West Coast? Just Turbo? What? Did you ever watch that, Roland? Did you ever watch Beach Street?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, no, Beach Street. Did you watch Beach Street, or did you watch the Electric Boogaloo nonsense?
The Electric. I think I watched Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, I think, was the second one. But whatever now. What was the first one called? Mark and Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. What was the first one with Turbo and Ozone? It was. I know there was. Electric Boogaloo was the subtitle of the movie, but I can't remember it for the love of Pete. I can't remember it now. It was some ridiculous name. But did you watch that as a kid?
No.
You didn't watch the breakdancing stuff?
No.
That was Ice-T of Law and Order SVU. That was his first film, was Electric Boogaloo. They called him and asked him whether or not he could rap, and he made a rap song for it. And that was when, that was pretty much how he got his start from from the Electric Boogaloo series. And I can't remember the name of the stupid movie, the first one, with the pop locking. That's it. Listen to me. Do you know that song was on the top 20, and nothing was funnier than watching Casey Kasem have to introduce that rap record, that hip-hop record?
Ollie and Jerry, 1984?
Ollie and Jerry, 1984. It was number 9 that year.
Yeah, it was like the big breakdancing song.
This was I still love this song. Still love this song.
Great song.
But that movie was garbage.
Well, it's funny. I saw Ice-T. I went to Raising Cane's to get some chicken last night.
Uh-huh.
And he's pushing their iced tea. He's like the iced tea guy at Raising Cane's restaurant.
You know what? I'm happy to say that it is nice that rappers are pushing things like Corona as opposed to St. Ides and Colt 45.
Find your beach. Find your beach.
I don't know how it happened, but there was a time when they just they wouldn't give them the classier, thing. I think what's the name? Ice Cube could have done a Low and Brow commercial. I just think it was
sure. Well, then you go back to the 70s, you had Lou Rawls.
Yes.
This bud's for you.
That's right. That's right.
Voice of his.
I love seeing, mainstream guys like that in those things. Yeah, sorry, but gotta go. Go ahead.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford,
John Silver over here looking at me like I did something wrong.
to the Bulkley Bridge on the westbound side of 84, delays approaching exit 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney, 91 southbound delays 34 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor, 291 through 84 okay, east of the river, 2 eastbounds okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing, Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge, 9 north again slowing 31 to 32 in Berlin from an earlier problem, 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. If you're traveling 84 eastbound in Denver, you're tight 3 to 5, again 84 eastbound slowing 8 to 9 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays getting by 60, South 95 New Haven slowing 46 to 44, 91 southbound New Haven's tight 40 from exit 3 down in toward the 95 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. The bodies of 2 men who went missing on Candlewood Lake earlier this week have been found. The 26-year-old and 38-year-old men never resurfaced after they went into the water Monday night. Bodies being transported to the office of the chief medical examiner for testing. Double stabbing Wednesday night in New Haven just before 9 p.m. Officers were dispatched to the scene, Del Rio Drive. Large group had gathered out there. There was blood on the scene, but police weren't able to immediately locate a victim. They were alerted by the staff at Yale New Haven that 2 men aged 18 and 39 showed up for treatment for stab wounds, and they're still investigating. Fire broke out this morning at a salvage yard in Seymour. Call came in around 7. No injuries reported. About a half dozen cars and a tent were damaged at that Silver Mine Road location. Investigators think sparks from work that was being done nearby may have ignited.
How could I forget Breakin'? That's the name of the damn movie.
Breakin', yeah.
Damn it.
The GOP nomination for a second term tonight as the curtain comes down on the convention in Milwaukee. WTIC News Talk 1080 will carry tonight's proceedings beginning at 9 p.m. Meantime, President Biden off the campaign trail back home in Delaware following his positive COVID-19 test results on Wednesday. Dow lost 533 points on Wall Street. NASDAQ down 125, S&P down 43. Another day of no baseball. It's the last day of the All-Star break. Things will get going again tomorrow. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-239-1749, 800-239-1749, or biglou.com.
Today we're
Whoa, man.
photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your child
Hinton.
stay on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We got Joe in Simsbury on hold. We'll bring him in. Keep rocking CL Smooth right there. How we doing, Joe?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Pretty good, sir. Always a pleasure to hear from you, my friend.
Thank you. Pleasure to talk to you. So one other person who passed away, you were mentioning Bob Newhart before, just announced that Lou Dobbs passed away.
Yeah, I was saying that in the chat room as well, that I just found out it's 78. And it's so funny because I could have, is it me or did I not just see Lou Dobbs on an interview just a couple of weeks ago?
I think you saw Lou Dobbs a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, oh, good.
I'm pretty sure I saw him as well, recently.
Yeah.
But, it's a shame. It's too young.
Yeah.
So I actually want to talk about a topic. It was on your news, and I never bring this up. I'll participate in this topic if the host is talking about it. But something just hit me. So what the news did, it was the top of the hour when I was paying attention, was they did a clip of Kamala talking about reproductive rights.
Yes.
And it really hit me that and I'm not going to pick sides here in terms of pro-life versus pro-choice directly. I have my own opinions.
Right.
But we allow other people to dictate the language that we're allowed to use on topics that there's a lot of people that this topic is very, very important to them. And the example that I'm going to use is she called it reproductive rights.
Right.
Well, that's, kind of vanilla. Doesn't offend anyone, really doesn't say much, does it? How about the pro-life people? We talk about them as, well, they're the ones that want to make you have the baby that you don't want to have.
Right.
And when it comes to the pro-choice people, refer to them as they're the ones that want to kill the baby they don't want.
Yes.
Why are we allowing this sanitized language as opposed to just telling it like it is? Because that's really what it is.
And it's funny you say that because, and again, I get emails from pro-life groups all the time. I'm very, very personal relationships with people who are part of the movement, if not sort of let's just say the people in charge, so to speak, in that movement. And I am often commended for saying exactly what you're talking about. I use the term "kill the baby." I'm not tiptoeing around it. It's kill the baby. And I even went so far as to say what Bill Burr did recently in a on a comedy special was, again, and his wife is very liberal, but he came out and pretty much just says, look, you walk into that clinic with something alive. When you come out, something died. Whether there's no other way to slice it, because again, it's not even the English language. It's just a fact. And this reproductive right, why are we using the positive word of reproducing as a conversation piece to ending the reproducing? You see what I'm saying? It's like it's backwards. You're trying to tell me that you're talking about a woman's reproductive rights. If I came down here as an alien learning the language, I would think that Kamala Harris was fighting for the right of a woman to have a baby.
Yeah. Well, the question would be reproductive right. What right are you talking about?
Yeah.
The right to kill the baby.
Yes, exactly. He's like, said, I want the reproductive right to exterminate the reproduction. That's all it is. It's backwards. It just is. And I refuse to even, when people say the word reproductive rights, I crap on it immediately for that reason. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you bringing that up. Anyway, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center. Our good friend Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, look for delays 33 down to 32 A and B. It looks good south of downtown now. No problems as you head down in toward the Cromwell area. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell, Route 9 interchange up to the Bradley Connector in Windsor Locks. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound delays just after 44 Prospect Oakwood up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 moving well. 2 eastbounds okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're westbound 84, a little tight 26 up to 25A. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound slowing from 8 up to exit 9 in Newtown. And again from 10 to 11 in Newtown on the eastbound side of 84. Southbound Parkway, a little tight by 61 in Hamden. 95 southbound delays from 48 down to 44 in New Haven. 91 southbound, you're slowing from 3 down in toward the 95 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We are going to see intervals of clouds and sunshine for the rest of this afternoon. It's going to be very warm out there as well as we head up to a high near 90 degrees. And clear skies for tonight, low 64. As we head into tomorrow, mostly sunny and turning out less humid as high pressure builds overhead. We'll have a high tomorrow up to 86, mostly clear once again tomorrow night, low down to 60. Then the heat really starts to ramp up in for the weekend. Saturday, it's going to be a hot day. We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine. We'll have a high on Saturday up to 90. And partly sunny skies and hot once again on Sunday as we head up to a high of 91. Right now it's 78 in Bristol, 81 degrees in Hebron, and 83 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clear skin at 4 months. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the...
Whoa, a minute.
Tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online. .com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't forget, folks, tomorrow, for the entire show, it is the airing of grievances. So if you've got something you want to air out, you could do it tomorrow during the show. Let everybody know that you're airing grievances. No slander.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
So we'll play that tomorrow. You guys will just call up here, and of course, and just tell me. You can talk about anything you want and just air your grievance during your call. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to call up and sort of do that. And I'm sort of like doing something that's, part rant, part open line Friday. All right, for two of my buddies. So let me get these two calls out of the way because there's something I want to end the show with. So I'll take these real quick. Let's go to Mike in Plainville. Hello, Mike. You're on Reese On The Radio.
Was that Jerry Stiller recording?
Yes. That's Jerry Stiller talking about the airing of grievances. I'll never forget when I watched that episode for the first time. His delivery is, bar none, some of the best old man angry stuff I've ever heard in my life.
How about when he accused Kramer of using his move?
or the what was it? The man bra.
Kramer used the move on his wife.
Yes, that's right. Using my move. Yeah, he's Jerry Stiller, man. God bless him. He was the best.
I have never seen so much incompetence at this level of my life. I mean, you had Biden on. You can't understand the guy.
I know. You heard me playing those clips on BET. I couldn't barely understand what he was saying to Ed Gordon, much less how offensive it was.
I guess he still likes Good and Plenty because it sounds like he had his mouth full of it. Here's the thing. Oh, by the way, we had the inside of the building secure, but the roof was unsafe to go up on.
Isn't that? Look, listen. The end result of this one, Mike, is there's no way that this director of the Secret Service can survive this. After the ABC interview with the slope nonsense and knowing that there were people who had run into him an hour before the president was to take the stage and still allowing the president to take the stage.
They said that, we were aware that he had a rangefinder and he's walking around the property.
Exactly. And no one secures the president. They allow him to go up there. Anyway, the worst part about it is, right, the worst thing it could be is incompetence by the Secret Service, or it's inept. They're just inept in the sense of they don't know what to do in the event of a situation where somebody suspicious is running around with a a rangefinder.
Well, they had the vice president and they had somebody else in Pennsylvania, so they deployed other agents to those sites. So they said they were short-handed. They had trouble covering their posts.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, even if you don't, you either cancel it or you inform the team that, look, the president may, or the former president for that matter, may be compromised. And again, this was just inept.
90 seconds went by after they told the police that there was somebody up in the roof.
Yeah, exactly. And he was allowed to get off. What did he get off? 5? Did he get off 5 shots? I think he got, I think it was about 5 shots. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, heads are going to roll because, again, this is an embarrassment. It would probably be the first time somebody was fired under the Biden administration out of just sheer embarrassment. But you know what? It's a start, even if it is at the end.
It is, though. They don't care. They have a
very true
attitude towards Trump, and it's like, oh, it's not a big deal.
Indeed. I think there was a little bit of animus on the part of the patrons who were there asking for police to at least investigate what was going on the roof. There was a lackadaisical, response by those individuals as well. Thank you for the call, Mike. I appreciate it. Let's go to Everett in East Hartford. Hello, Everett. Long time, sir.
Yes, it's been a while. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure, sir.
Yeah, I mean, all this stuff we're talking about as far as the DEI and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When did Lady Justice take her blindfold off? Because everything they're talking about is pretty much done by looks as opposed to facts. And you know what I mean? Because Lady Justice, rather, is supposed to be blindfolded.
Can I tell you what the biggest problem is? I think they're revealing to us the thing that we're afraid to say. And the DEI thing exposes something very true about those who support it. And that is, based upon your color and your background, sexual orientation included, right? Based upon your skin color and your sexual orientation, you are not qualified to do the job under normal circumstances. So we have to take the least interesting thing about you outside of your intelligence and ability and use that as a means to put you in positions of power and prestige. So instead of telling you that you're no good, and it's nothing more than a participation trophy on steroids, it's now saying, I can't get you to pass the aptitude test for this job. I can't get you to excel in this career. I can't get you to actually be showing interest in this career. So I'm going to find the least interesting thing about you, the least factor about you that would ever make you capable or competent, and use that as a means to put you in positions of power and prestige. Because nothing else, I can't get you to do it otherwise. I can't get you to apply to that. You black people don't want to be pilots. Well, we don't have enough black pilots. Let's just pull them off the street and force them to be.
Yeah, well, and again, we can't allow them, like the last caller said, allow them to with language. We just got to, throw the facts right up in their face with. And again, I'm not being rude. I'm stating facts. This is the way I feel. You have no problem offending me, so I'm not going to have any problem offending you. I don't understand how this I'm offended thing really works one-sided.
I think that every one of the people who were championing DEI are now saying that they don't want any parts of it because, again, it exposes exactly the truth. And that is you won't take the actual careers. Like, I love the way Thomas Sowell breaks it down. No one ever puts in the factor that black people don't want to be this engineer. I mean, like, if we take 100 blacks and we ask them whether or not they want to be engineers, we might get 2, maybe 3 people who want to do it. But to the industry, they go, that's not enough. So let's make it easier for those people to become engineers and make it interesting for them, even though they don't want to pursue it. Let's force it. Let's go out and find them. Even Joy Reid that we talked about earlier, when she talked about DEI after the Supreme Court decision, she said that someone went to her small little college in Denver and plucked her, even though she didn't have the grades, plucked her and brought her all the way to Harvard. Because guess what? Joy Reid knows that she couldn't apply to Harvard because she would never get in on the merits of her abilities. So someone went out there and dragged her into Harvard to get her into a school that she otherwise, 1, wouldn't have applied to, 2, would have never gotten into. So now let's say I need to brown this place up. Let me go bring it in instead of getting you to earn it.
And on the light side, let's bring this to like height advantage. How about Barron Trump being a jockey?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody that was a jockey being a NBA star.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, how deranged can you get with this stuff?
You know what? It's interesting because, you know what? Someone once mentioned to me, even about being in this job in radio, and they were saying, like, wouldn't you have liked it if someone had given you the opportunity to be on the radio because you were black? And my response to that was, the reason why I'm here has nothing to do with my skin color, primarily because no one can see me. So when people actually hear me and they go, oh, he's a black guy. It's usually the last thing they're thinking about. Most people are paying attention to the words that come out of my mouth and find out whether or not I'm competent in the things that I'm talking about, or at least remotely interesting in what I'm talking about. The black part always comes later. And that's the way.
Well, I mean,
go ahead, sorry.
It's the same with all the radio people that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I use my imagination in the voice.
Yeah.
And then I'll run into the person or see a picture. I'm like, oh my God, is that what that person looks like?
Hey, you know what? I own a moving company, and I'll never forget it. So usually, if my clients are black and I show up at the job, the client will, and it's the funniest thing ever. So I get to the door, and I remember this one black man who comes to the door, and I said, hi, you called for movers. I'm here for the consultation. And the guy looks at me and goes, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Reese from Keep It Moving. He's like, oh. And so I walk in the house, and then finally when he's comfortable, he goes, I'm not going to lie. I thought you were white. So, and he'll say that, and we'll have a good laugh about it. And my response to them, every time they say it, Everett, they go, "Oh man, I was expecting a white guy." And my response to them is, "That's how I get in the door."
I love it.
So
One
day I'm doing a job at a storage place. So of course I have to be met outside of a building, and I get to the building, and this older white woman from New York of all places shows up, and she drives up, and I'm standing there, and I've got like my uniform shirt on, my polo with my company name on it. And I say, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, nice to meet you. And I'm Reese, And she goes, "You're my mover?" And I went, "Yeah, we're, the boys are here to help you move." She waits a couple of hours. I think it was like 4 or 5 hours she waited. And she goes, "I'm not going to lie. I thought you were a short Italian guy." And that, again, to me, that's exactly what it should be. Like, we should all be sort of like surprised at the idea of what we think of one thing always finds out whether or not the person is competent based upon what they can do and what they can accomplish. And then the other stuff come out of it. Sure, is it base? Is it completely low-hanging fruit for you to think about a person's race in some instances? Yes. But it shouldn't be the crux of how we do things for any reason.
And again, my pilot or my doctor is qualified. I really don't care what their personal life is like.
That's right.
Nor do I really care what they look like.
That's right.
All I care about is that I'm receiving the service at a quality that I expect. Nothing more. And
I hear
if
you.
They want to check all the boxes, and that makes checking all the boxes make them happy. Well, go check the boxes and go be happy.
Exactly. But if I want my Boston Red Sox, my Boston Celtics to win another championship, I'm going to need all the tall black guys you can get. I'm just going to say that.
Unless Larry comes back.
That's right. Unless you can clone Larry, then it's a different thing. God, I love watching the old reels of that guy. Thank you, Everett, man. I appreciate you, man. So that's it for today, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow, airing of grievances. Think about them, or you probably get a new one when you get in here tomorrow. But the airing of grievances, we're going to have some fun with it. Try to make it funny and entertaining if you can, so that people will sort of get a chuckle out of it and want to give their own airing of grievances tomorrow. I think we're going to have a blast.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
So yeah, so if you've ever had a grievance, air it out tomorrow. And we'll have some fun with that. Also, please go to ReeseOnRadio.com. 777 Main Street. For those of you who know what it is in the center of Hartford, if you know, please let me know. I'm interested in finding out some information about 777 Main Street. And I'm pretty sure Mark in West Hartford knows something about it. But get in touch with me. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow, and we'll see you back here at 3 p.m. on News Talk 1080 WTIC. And now... Nope, it's not ready yet, so I got to hold up a little bit. We'll wait until he gets...
About 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds before we get to him, and we'll count it down. Anyway, so also, you can always reach Reese on the Radio by going to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, so also leave me a message on ReeseOnTheRadio.com, and, just talk to me about some of the stuff going on and things like that in the Hartford area that, you don't think is getting enough cover from mainstream media. Now, it is time to go to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend Mark Christopher. Good night, Mark.
At the time, Tom, it is 5:57 and 20 seconds. Let's have a great night. If you're heading into Hartford right now, on the southbound side of I-91, delays 33.
All right, good sir. Be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, ready to go.
All right.
All right,
man.
Peace.
Peace.
84 is tied up approaching the Bulky Bridge to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound, that looks good. Farmington 3.
All right, folks, time for me to get up out of here. Thank you for riding with Reese on the Radio, as you always do. Thank you so much, man. Going scorched earth. Don't go scorched earth, Mark. Just come in with your grief.